welcome to the GCW Plant Podcast, episode 79. John, how are you in the year 2024?
I'm alive. I'm alive. You're alive. Life is good, man. How you feeling? It's been a while.
I feel good. We're back at it. This is our retake of our comeback episode. I guess we'll just spill it out. Why the hell not? This is going to be one of these episodes. We're going to be all over the place. We're playing catch up, and we did record part of this episode before the new year, and came to find out that it didn't fully record it as we were recording. And technical issues, of course, is how we kind of why we ended the break and some other issues and stuff. But we are back. We are excited. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for this year. We got a lot of stuff that we are going to talk about tonight in our wish list for 2024 and a shit ton to cover from the end of 2023 from pretty much what was that, October 15th, around there?
Yeah.
LA show, Blood on the Hills 2. Yeah, that was the last episode we did, Blood on the Hills 2. So we're going to cover a lot of stuff from there and just do a roundup episode. So
Sweet.
it's going to be fun.
So I was trying to figure a way to kick this off really good. I'm going to kick it off with my worst idea of last year. I want to get it out of the way because it wasn't smart. Okay, so I was talking to you a little bit earlier about LA and how they don't have glass, and we try not to talk about it too much, but we do cry about it all the time. And I thought, I have a great idea to compensate for no glass in LA. How about fans bring the weapons? And as soon as that came out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, that's the dumbest damn thing I could have said. That was just freaking retarded. Like the worst thing to say. I couldn't imagine lining the ring with weapons for fans that go that crazy. Like they're fun fans, but oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, I'd be scared
No.
on what some of those people would bring out there, especially for like a Nick Gage match. Who knows?
Well, exactly. And the one thing I do like though is that could fill into other areas where you really can't have glass though. So let's just say, I
Yeah.
don't know, fill in Indiana. Let's just say you go to Indiana. I don't know what the rules are there, but yeah, if they wouldn't allow glass, maybe they'll allow a VCR attached to a baseball bat or something.
I still like the when they use the plastic bins and at the collective. Those made
Oh,
loud noises and they got the same crowd reaction. And I mean, that shit looks like it probably hurts worse than glass if you get caught by the right piece of chunk coming off of it. But I really enjoyed those the way those sounded.
dude, I'll tell you. You heard it live. I haven't had a chance to hear it live, but that shattering noise of the bins you said is
Yeah.
just like phenomenal when they hit on impact.
Oh yeah, like it's loud, like the crowd even goes like just as crazy, but the loud crash of it's good. You just don't get the spooky dust and like the shards flying everywhere, but you get like giant pieces of plastic flying everywhere, like, which I guess could be just as dangerous. So I don't know. That was I remember when we were talking about that. That was my idea. I kind of liked it. I don't mind fans bringing the weapons, but what show did they do that in? Was it in IWS in Canada where they did that for?
What, fans bring the weapons?
Yeah, for the GCW. Remember, like the fans were like tarped. And like
Oh
they
shit.
bring like weapons to hand, like the first like 5 rows? Was that in
Okay,
like a
so
GCW IWS or was that a different company we were talking
I
about?
I'm wondering if it was either IWS or if it was over at the TNT show. And I know it was a foreign show because I thought it was so cool. They were like in riot gear, damn near. So
Yeah, and like
it
they had
gave it
their
a
own
tight
weapons and
feel.
stuff.
Oh man. Okay, I'll put it on. It was either IWS or TNT. Those are my two guesses. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it was the IWS. I don't know. It's like sticking in my mind for some reason. I
So
guess we
yeah,
could pull age matchup.
do you have any bad ideas that you want to share that were like or nothing really?
Oof. That's a
We
lot. A
all
lot of
have.
my booking ideas.
It
my
happens.
all my man. I went through one match, just that tag match in Seattle at the Washington Hall in Seattle. Just that whole tag match. I went through like so many like what the fuck are we doing booking moments. To thank God we put all the pieces at the end. They put all the pieces of the puzzle together and made me happy. But that entire time I'm like losing my mind. So I guess my bad ideas were my bad booking decisions as I jumped to conclusions and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's what that would be mine, I think.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of where to start here because we had the whole bussies thing, and then we had it all went into a
Oh,
whole other. Um, I don't know how far to go back in the review here. Lloyd Broski. let's talk about that for a minute.
Oh my goodness.
One coming. We knew that there was going to be. There's no way Cardona was just going to leave GCW for all time ever. I mean, 99.9% of the audience felt, you know, Cardona is just going to gain a new Broski.
Yeah, I thought so too, but then also the back of my mind's like he's kind of smart enough where he might be taking like a little bit of a break and then like come back to GCW like right around the Rumble time just to kind of troll all of us. Like, haha, you guys thought
Mm-hmm.
I was gone and going to the WWE because I'm not going to show up no more. But I think ultimately, yeah, we kind of thought the same that Jimmy Lloyd was going to join it. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Like you kind of booked it where they might even work together and help each other out, and that's kind of what we've seen so far a little bit with Jimmy Lloyd
Yes.
and SDL, especially in that Rumble match in Cardona. So like they all seem to, even though reluctantly, Jimmy Lloyd's working together. But yeah, I think so far you're more on the right right side of things there.
On this one. On this one.
Uh,
I'm still waiting for the fake tan. I want to see something different with the hair. He's had the hair for the longest time just for fun. I'd like to see him step out of that zone just for a small amount of time. Um yeah, I don't know how long that's going to last, but yeah, we'll see how much. I want to see how much. No, we'll get into that one. I was going to jump ahead about tournament and this, and it didn't. Yeah, we'll go into that part later. The Defy show.
well, hold on. Where do you think? Oh, so like, where do you think it's gonna lead up though? Or is that where you're kind of don't want to head into right now?
No, 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 not at all. I think if I see anybody dealing with Cardona means that they're going to help him get to the top. We
I think
haven't
it might be
really
like a collective moment for Jimmy Lloyd.
possible.
We might
Possible.
have
I
like a
don't see.
burn off in a match and
Hmm.
give Jimmy Lloyd his props there. Maybe I'd prefer it in AC still, but I mean Philly might get this pretty good reaction there too.
Oh, hope so. Gosh, Philly. Speaking of, did you see? No, you
Voltage.
haven't yet. The MLW show. They were using glass like
No.
a motherfucker through the whole show. Panes of glass and shit. Something tells
Yeah.
me that Philadelphia is going to be wide open territory for the collective.
Well, I was hoping. I know when they announced the collective, they had that one kind of event blurred out, and I liked your idea, saying Planet Death, and I was like, oh my god, please! And I thought for sure once, especially they saw Glass
Yeah,
after that
yeah.
show, is then when they kind of announced it, if I remember the timeline
Mm.
correctly. But I was thinking the same thing, like holy shit, if they bring back Planet Death and at like near the ECW arena for a collective, that might be the main event of the weekend. Like they
Yeah,
should end
yeah.
off and go crazy there, and they announced the was it GCW versus Tokyo Josie Pro. So
TJPW. Yeah.
yeah,
I I honestly okay, so I had an answer that I thought somebody asked what the blurred out was. They thought I'd know or something. I answered something so well because I really looked at that blur. I answered it so well. I actually took my answer down about 5 minutes later. I'm like, God, I don't want to feel like I
spoiled
thought
it.
it was going to be GCW versus Defy. I saw 3 letters and then I saw 4 letters on the blur. And I'm like, oh, that's got to be Defy. Nope, TJPW. So that'll be very interesting to see how that all goes down. And I don't know what to expect, honestly. I don't know much about the company. Do you?
I'll be honest, like from what I remember from when I heard of it, and I think that's where kind of Maki Ito kind of wrestled too. I think that's just like all women's company out there. I could be mistaken. So
Yeah.
that's why I was wondering, like, what, like that mean like for collective, they're going to bring in a bunch of women to kind of for that show to fill it up. Um, we kind of already got the regulars that we see with Masha, Rena, Alley Catch, and uh, uh, SDL. Like they could throw in a bunch more too, and I'm kind of interested to see, yeah, what kind of talent they bring in for that show. And that's what, if I'm correct in my thinking, that's what TJPW was. I didn't fully look into it. I've been so busy since the collective thing, but I think that's what it was. So yeah, I'm interested to see what that show is going to be too. A lot of fun talent is going to be there.
So I don't know how much you've been watching recently, or well, the last couple months now that I think about it, but Fatu's been running shit over at GCW.
I'm
What's
happy.
going on there? I'm very happy.
That's it. I said if he's going to be in GCW and kind of causing all that wrecking mayhem in LA, I want to see him continue it on in New York and the Mid
Yeah.
South, and that's exactly what we're getting, and I like it. They're bringing in Zilla Vatu, which is interesting. The younger brother, I think it's Solo, even in the Usos. Um, So that's going to be, I think, a pretty interesting, fun name. And he looked pretty good. I've seen a couple of clips and stuff, not like any full matches, but he looks pretty talented. And if they put him, like someone said, Bloodline 2.0, I saw in on one of the
Oh boy.
one of the clips. I like that. I like that idea. They're going to do a Bloodline 2.0 in GCW, but it's kind of good. You could do that with like the GCW regulars. Like I kind of was talking about that. If him, Mason, and some other people they want to ruin GCW, then you kind of get the old G's, Mance, Effy. I don't know, I hate to say that out. We'll go over that. Gringo, Joey, and all them fighting back GCW. Kind of do the same thing, but with the Bloodline 2.0 with Fatu, Zilla, bring back Juicy. Journey's out there. I don't think I've seen Journey in
Yeah.
GCW. I wouldn't mind seeing Journey too. Like you got 4 right there.
So then, okay, so on to the next one here that I was going to ask you. We have a lot of heel champions right now. I mean, we asked for heels, but we are just thick in heels right now, and there's really not no faces to fight them. I mean, if you really think deep, who are the faces right now, and who you have Effie going against Manser, so those two cancel out.
And that's what kind of surprised me too. The winner, because now it's another heel being brought up and raised to be the next contender, as you already have a heel champion.
Yeah,
That
well,
was an interesting
you
dynamic
never know.
too.
I don't know. Okay, so this got down on record, but it didn't get down on record. I'd like to see Speedball Mike Bailey as a face world champion at GCW. I think he carries the belt well. He's family friendly. I mean, even online, most of his jokes, pretty much all of his jokes are clean. And I mean, he's got a good persona of someone that would, reach across all levels of people. And I'd like to see maybe him win that title. I have one other idea, but I want to hear your idea of maybe the next world champion.
Speedball's up there for me. I definitely like it. Another name that I kind of, I mean, we talked about him before, but especially I've seen him all over Ring of Honor stuff. Is Gringo Loco? I wouldn't mind seeing him. He's still
Ooh.
tearing it up. He had a crazy 2023. He has a crazy 2022 even to end off. Like when he turns it on, like when he goes against what's his name? Uh Oh my god, who did he wrestle at the Collective? No, Psycho Clown for the
Hmm.
mask. And then when he had that match at the Collective, like when he turns it on, he's ready to get bloody and stuff like that. That's just like another level of Gringo. I think that's perfectly violent and would be a perfect world champion. But he doesn't need to bring that version out all the time. But like that's just something we haven't seen like from Blake to get to show off kind of something like that side that he could get down dirty and stuff like that. So I would I like Gringo though, but Speedball, I think Speedball would be my top choice because he would carry a company, great matches, good leader of it, but also he breathes independent wrestling. Like he just, you could tell he loves doing independence and all forms and promotion. Like he loves working all these billion promotions that he works all year long, and he
Right.
just loves wrestling. And I think GCW loves, and Brett loves the embodiment of old school, like independent wrestling. And I think Speedball Mike Bailey, even though he might not fit the quote unquote GCW ultra violent death match version and champion of GCW, he leaves a different kind of version. And I think that could carry a company to new heights too.
Now, for my wish, and I know this is a big one. Bizzard, what's up,
What's
dude?
up, Biz?
Okay, so you came in at a good time, dude. So here's what's going on. I was thinking it would be fun, storyline wise. Blake drops the belt because he's injured. He can't defend it, has to go bye bye. I'm thinking it would be a fantastic collective weekend to have a GCW World Championship tournament. 16-person tournament. I'm talking the culmination of those 2 days will lead up to the main event there, where we'll crown our new GCW World Champion. It would be a 2 day thing. It could be a multiple. I don't like multiple events. Stretching a tournament over 2-3
Two
days,
shows, yeah.
but I mean, yeah, I'll fuck off,
Right
David. You
at
love
the time.
tournaments, bro. Uh,
I
no,
love tournaments, man.
there's a static to them, and I put the belt on a pole. I'm not against that, honestly. I'll tell you what, if they can get a belt on a pole, they can get a
I
microphone on
like
a
that.
pole, and then we can
I
get
like
that
that
crowd
in
going.
tournaments.
The belt, I love, dude. Our GCW's belt chases have always been so dangerous anytime there was a belt above the ring, I'm like, okay, some fucking
Oh my
hot
god, yeah.
shot's gonna fuck themselves up. Yeah, and I mean, a
Hammerstein
year,
was crazy.
dude. And who was it there?
Oh my god.
Was that Mac? No, it was
It was
Raver
one
almost
I
fucked
don't want to.
himself
Yeah,
up.
Raver. Yeah, Raver
Man,
was that was the most brutal one. AJ Gray had a mess.
AJ.
He just slipped. Like I loved what he was thinking. Like he just slipped on it. But there was a couple of crash and burns in that show and or on that ladder match. But and then I think back to the New York one with Jimmy Lloyd and G Raver then where they had that crazy ladder spot. Yeah, and that's where G Raver got hurt too, and Jimmy Lloyd on the ladder
Yep.
going for the yeah. You're right, all those crazy ones, but that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it enjoyable. I think is the violence or the the something bad might happen, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, just I always thought about, you get into the later rounds of a tournament, it gets, a little more it's just everything's a little more, it feels special. I don't know what it is. Tense. Tense is the word I'm looking for. I
Oh
always love
yeah,
the tenseness in the final rounds. Um, you know what? I'll ask because it's just a couple of us fucking around here too. The TNA belts. There was one that had one really weird angular look to it that looked good, but the TNA belts look great. My thing is this: if whatever is going on at the company now worked, they wouldn't have to go rebrand back to TNA. I do find that interesting. Unless there's something else going on there, I don't know. Um, um, I'm just trying to think here. My problem
I,
is this: a lipstick on a pig is still a pig. I have nothing against Impact. I'm just saying, if they're gonna bring back the TNA name, they better have TNA attitude. There was definitely some attitude with TNA. Don't give me just the name because that's rebranding bullshit. You need to give me the entire experience. I think it's the best way to put it. What you think, brother?
I liked how like the talent was super excited for it, and like the fans were excited for the rebrand. Like I just think even on that alone was worth it. The rebrand and get the fans back into it and have something to look forward to. And I'm kind of glad they took like a whole month off to kind of get the fans even more hyped up for that. That's this weekend, and like it's my wife's birthday this weekend, but I wanted to
Oh,
go to
that's
that
nice.
weekend and do and watch a lot of those stuff because like I've been waiting for Impact to kind of come back, and with Osprey coming back and Okada and that's a crazy lineup like that they got going on. And Vikingo, like that was the one, yeah, Vikingo coming too. It's like that. How can you not be excited and looking forward to it? But it's also, as you said, hopefully it's not just for this one weekend and it kind of continues on with this momentum and stuff. But I saw one of the titles. I didn't see like do they only post 2 or 3 of them? I only seen one of them so far.
Yeah. They've posted quite a few. Um I think they're impressive. Like I said, they better bring the attitude. I like and hate the six side because I guess it was really hard. The six-sided ring was really hard on the wrestlers. That kind of stinks. Maybe if they increase the size of it, it would increase, the elasticity, just a touch of the bounce would be a little better. But I guess that shit was hard as fuck to work with. So
I liked it because it was something different, but yeah, obviously if the
yeah,
workers don't like it, then I just want whatever the workers feel comfortable with and want to do their crazy looking shit with. Whatever's going to be best for them is what I like. But I did enjoy the 6-sided ring. It brought a bunch of different kind of variations and stuff like that.
dude, I was still saying it. Every time I think of TNA, since we've talked about it before, I still think of the pounce. I want to
Oh, that was
see
that.
I want to see old dude come over to GCW and do a pounce. Just boom.
I clusterfuck. Like that was like the perfect
The
clusterfuck right there.
clusterfuck.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, especially like hey, if it's in ECW, like I can see Joey kind of bringing in some of those those old school, like in Biz, you would know these ones, the ECW, those wrestlers at that
Monty
time with the
Brown. Yeah.
rebrand. Yeah, Monty Brown, they bring in some of those guys, some of those people for the clusterfuck. I could absolutely see him doing that, making fun of the ECW, especially in Philadelphia for Collective Weekend. That's actually a fun thing I want to look forward to now. If Monty Brown shows up, oh my God, that's gonna, I will pop almost as loud as I did when Adam Cole showed up in AEW.
So my next thing will be I'm gonna just go ahead and just start a little wish list
That's what
here.
I was thinking too. Yeah, sorry.
I want that. Let's just get it out of the way because I'm not going to stop until it happens. I want a scramble belt. I want a scramble title. We've talked about it 100 times. Anybody that's listened knows we've talked about it 100 times. I do want that. I know Joey just brought back the extreme title. Maybe it's time to make the scramble title happen right there. Just maybe like put a patch over the skull's eye and then call it the scramble belt. Like,
That's on my wish list too. Yeah, that was gonna be on for sure the wish list because we just think it's there. Why not? Why not make it just add a little bit more intrigue and suspense to
Yeah.
each match and for the titles and stuff like. And just because they're the champion doesn't mean they have to defend in like the scramble. They can also wrestle singles. They don't have to pigeonhole them. Because we see that with Jordan, obviously, with this championship being in a bunch of different matches and
Yeah.
sometimes defending it, sometimes not. So, yeah, Scramble's definitely up there. And I'm still like I like the design of the Extreme title, but I just want to get rid of the name Extreme and just rebrand it to Scramble.
That skull, dude, that thing is so heavy. It is so fucking heavy. I got that. You've seen that picture I have where we were all like, with me and Cole, the one that was
Yeah.
embarrassing. That God, that sounds bad, but it was. Everybody was just having a great time that night, and it makes for a very bad picture, because nobody had their makeup on. We'll say, but that thing's fucking heavy. And Jordo's title's heavy as fuck too. That
Yeah, that
GCW
was a
title.
heavy one. That was
Oh,
one of the heavier ones I've ever held.
oh my gosh. Okay, what are you saying over here, Briz? Kevin Thorne. You know what I liked about Kevin Thorne back in the day? I like the idea that there could have been Mordecai. If they would have done something with him, they could have had a little more time with him. And I know some people are so about it, but yeah, I think
That's
it'd
what I
be
was
pretty
trying to
damn
think of.
cool.
I couldn't think of his name. I was about to say like the vampire guy, but I couldn't think of
Yeah,
his name.
yeah.
Obviously, those
And
are like
then
the first two people you think of in the ECW. That one, but like he could come back and still do a class. Like if they brought back Maven, why not bring back some of those old guys
yeah.
from ECW?
The
The
Fabulous Moolah
rebrand.
was coming out till she was damn near dead. And honestly, her last couple of times, I think she was dead, and they just like put her arms on sticks and shit and kind of, I don't know, man. WWE can keep it. That money can keep anyone alive. You know how that goes. So, you said Cora Jade and Braun Breaker. You know, here's the thing. I don't watch enough WWE yet.
Yeah, I
I
didn't see
know
that
I've
one.
gotten here's the thing. I've gotten away from it because I think what happened was I've just watched WWE for so long that it got lame. There was a time where it got lame for me and it was hard to watch. And then COVID came around and their presentation was kind of like hard to watch. I don't know why. It was just that sound studio. It was like TNA, which was great sound studio wise, but without the audience. It was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of weird. Um, and then I don't know. I don't have a better way to put it, but there was just, well, gee, there we go. That's a so that's just how it goes. Anyway, back to our regular skate. He made me laugh. I'm sorry. All right. So the other thing that you'd mentioned that I think something that you were wanting to look forward to on your wish list was a tag team tournament, which we originally thought was going to
Yes.
be the Reach for the Sky
Yeah.
Memorial Tag Team Tournament.
This would be a good place to do it too, with the Ring of Honor, kind of the stuff what they have, the like the Prestige in Philadelphia too. So, um, yeah, especially all the teams like they got main event going against Violence is Forever next. Like that's a matchup I said I've been wanting to see. That's
Yeah.
going to be fun. Um, yeah, I still want to see Waves and Curls back in there, back against Bang and Matthews. The Violence, like we still got the Violence is Forever, Macistos when they come back and healthy. Hell, maybe even this new team of Cardona and Jimmy Lloyd, and with SDL would be a could go after the tag belts and stuff. And
Hmm.
well, the rejects are now back in wrestling again for the
Oh,
belt.
that's right.
So yeah, like there's a lot of tag teams. I've said before, like I enjoyed what they did with the tag team division for Art of War. It kind of put all the spotlight on all those tag teams for that show and kind of showcase the tag division. And even since then, how deep it was, it's now deep, but in a different version, not the deathmatch version, and a tournament for even a number one contender, or if the tag teams were going to be let go somehow, like just vacated, like you said, like if Blake's were, yeah, tag team tournament would be fun. And I don't think GCW's ever had a tag team tournament, so
No, no, I
I would
don't.
like that.
Yeah, and it was a great idea because I remember when you asked on Patreon, Brett was like, who asked that? Yeah, because it is a real good one. Okay, so yeah, Joey brought the Extreme title back. Does that make me think then that they're actually going to use it? Fingers crossed.
Was it
Or
on the line
Striker
of that
title?
match?
He put it on the line.
He did. Okay, I can't remember.
Just recently. I have to remember who it was up against, but
Well,
he
they
put
only
it on the
just
line.
brought it back once. He just brought it back.
Yeah, he
I
had
thought.
it for the scramble or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and then the next day he brought it in to show off
Oh,
for something.
damn. Did
I'd
I
have
already
to check
forget the
my
next
notes
day's
on that one.
match?
Yeah.
Aftermath. Let's see. Oh yeah, he defended against Emerson Jane. Yeah, told you.
Yeah,
Shit.
did you
Yeah.
hear what he thinks his next defense might be?
Uh.
Microman. He's thinking about letting Microman do a defense. Dude, listen, nothing would be fucking more hilarious than
Oh.
GCW Extreme title on Microman. First of all, that belt is fucking heavy. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just get that shit out of the way right now. That belt, hey, no shit. What do you think? What was the JCW belt? 20 pounds?
I thought 20,
15?
25. I think I said
Okay.
25.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Microman's maybe 40 pounds, maybe, and that belt's gonna be 25, 30. Dude, no lie, Bizzard. These belts are heavy. If you find yourself going to one of these shows, ask. It is amazing. But yeah, Microman, you can go see him on YouTube. He's the one who they kind of had him in a little animal outfit, and then they kicked him out of the ring.
He went like flying out of the ring.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. That makes for great TV right there.
I mean, he still wrestles for MLW too. I think. In other
Yeah,
places.
I
Yeah.
know. I know he's he's cool down south and everything else, but yeah. If anybody wants to, you go to YouTube and you look up Microman. I guess getting kicked might be the best way to put it.
You
And
just
he
might be able to
just
type in
gets,
Microman, and that's probably what you
dude.
see.
Yeah, that might be like the one highlight if you really go look it up. Let's see here. Yeah, Microman to me, I think is the smallest, if I can think of, probably the smallest wrestler that I think has ever wrestled. I'm not kidding. He's under 2 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like crazy. Oh my god. Okay, so I got sidetracked there on
I could
Microman.
just see the clusterfuck. Oh, that's the one thing too. Let's talk about that because like that kind of just slipped my mind. They announced it, so at least that is closing out spring break. Well, the collective weekend. I think that was the last event, so that's cool. At least that's coming back. I know something everybody wanted in LA, and I think the reason they didn't do it, there was no way you could fit that many wrestlers back in that alleyway. Like there would be a lot of cramped people back there and stuff like that. So I think that's the only reason they didn't do it. But I'm glad they're bringing it back because now just even thinking all these names we're talking about, it's going to be fun to anticipate and see what we get collective weekend.
And I did my homework. So if you put in Microman kicked, the first one's gonna say Mexican wrestler drop kicks midget in a monkey suit. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god. It's funny. And I have to, at some point, I'll explain to people that this is my mountain man beard. This really won't be here in a couple of days. It's just, I've had it forever. Here's the side and the other side. It's a lot of beard. I've never had this much in my life. I look like I'm ready to talk to bears and shit. It's great.
What's one name you would like to see in the clusterfuck
Oh boy.
that we have not seen ever? That
we have not seen ever? Oh my.
in GCW.
Oh shit. You know, Macho Man Randy Savage, I think would no, I'm just kidding. Ooh, that's a good question.
I was just saying, I was thought maybe you're gonna think of some people like even old ECW, like just straight up all like original ECW talent,
Original
like
OG
the rehash.
ECW? Damn, man. You know who could have really had some time over there was Jerome at the fucking fucking Jerome. I'm sorry. New Jack.
Oh yeah.
New Jack would have been cool. Okay, I'm not gonna lie because Bizzard said it. I was actually a huge fan of Eugene, and I know he wouldn't go over now. And I honestly think that's what sunk his career, unfortunately, because he's one hell of a good trainer and referee. But sorry, now I am jumping subjects because I'm.
No, you're good.
But yeah, the Eugene character, if approached properly today in the right way, it still wouldn't probably fly. But it went over like crazy when it was going on for sure. So, gosh, I don't want to talk about it too much, but we lost the carousel room this year, and we haven't really had, we just haven't recovered.
I liked your picture, kind of like just like saying what you would do, because at least it's like, hey, feedback, not just bitching about it. Like that's kind of what we always pride ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll talk to my mic out there. And then someone else actually posted this kind of not similar like picture and stuff, but like said like, hey, why don't like if the hard cam, if you're gonna show that, like we don't want to see the garage door and stuff like that. And the air
Yeah,
fan, like
yeah.
why not have it at a higher angle? And I kind of like that because like I said, I like that angle. I think it looked perfect at the Fet in Providence, but I don't know how it would look at the carousel or not even the carousel room. See, it would look great at the carousel room, but I think it would. I don't know how it would look at the terminal because it's still kind of just plain. I like how they are
Mhm.
just still adding banners every single show. I think that's a very smart move, and I like it. And I like how they sell them too. I still need to buy some.
You know what? Yeah, you can tell that they're really trying to put in some work on that to make sure that they can, you know, make it dress it up just a little bit to make it look a little better. And I do appreciate that they're doing that. But man, they're working with something over there that's just so fucking hard to work with. It's just a
Yeah,
big old building, and it's really hard to dress up. It's just so damn hard to dress up like a parking garage, parking structure.
yeah.
So I don't know who else we got on it. Man, we got a bunch of
It's
people. Yeah,
G.
people
What's
now.
up, G? I don't know who G is, but what's up? Thank you for
He
joining.
said, "Yeah,
We are doing the GCW Plant podcast. So yeah,
we're just
um,
bullshitting and doing it live this time." We figure, well, it's been a while, so we figure we'll just get into it. Kind of have people ask questions if they wanted to. We were talking about quite a few things for a while there. Um, I had to send over a link to a midget getting kicked, so life is good. But we're back. We're fucking back on track now, baby. Oh my god! Like I said, this is the most professional amateur shit you will ever find. One thing I do want to see improve at GCW, um, I would like to see them start announcing the names for scrambles again a week or so in advance, like they used to. Now it's just implied, but to be honest with you, I'd say people like Cole Radrick, Alec Price, scramble. Those are regular scramble participants. I'd like to know when they're there ahead of time. I kind of feel bummed. I'm like, shit, man, Cole ain't gonna be there. He's one of my dudes. I'm like, oh man. And then he walks in. I'm like, oh hey, hello. Yeah, midget kicking. Actually, I think that should be a new sport, or it should be a name of a band, the Midget Kickers.
Jeez.
I'm gonna get
Uh,
canceled tonight.
um, I get what kind of why they don't announce the scramble because like half the time it's probably wrestlers that show up there, working,
Yeah,
trying to drove down there and like they throw them in there,
yeah,
which I don't mind. But like some of that big one, like that scramble they did for like I think it was the aftermath or no for NGI, like
uh-huh.
they should announce that like as an all-star scramble. That fucking scramble is awesome, and that was some big names in that scramble, and that's one like I would promote as one. I did like I was a surprise for the like when they brought out the extreme, that was a surprise. But the one that they announced too, the all-star one that was supposed to happen, I think at Fight Club with Vikingo and I think it was Commander even and all those people that fell through. Like those big ones, they definitely should keep on announcing because those are like ones that are must see. And unfortunately, something happened and some competitors get knocked out. But for the most part, I get why they don't announce it.
So we talked a little bit about the GCW World Champion. How about who do you want to see as the next Ultra Violent Champion? Who's going to knock off Rena in house?
Mercer.
Shane
Especially with this
Mercer in
Mercer,
house.
especially with this character that we've kind of I want like that's one thing that's why we're talking about off camera, this transcribing the old podcast and getting them all in. I gotta find out where I'm pretty sure you called it.
Uh-oh. I lost you for a second there, brother. You're good. But I did lose your audio. You're good. If you move your mouth, what'll happen is I will say the words.
There we go.
Oh shit! I was gonna start like, yeah, you were just running your mouth. I was gonna say shit for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Sick Nick Mondo is still around. I just wanted to say that one real quick.
Oh yeah.
I just bought a
That was
DVD off of him a while back.
that was actually cool seeing him at one of the LA shows a while back too. That was like just surprise out in the crowd. What was I saying now? What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Mercer with this character because I think you talked about it. It might have even been on the holiday preview show of Mercer teaming with Blake Christian.
Yes.
At one point, I know you said it and we talked about it.
Yeah, because we were talking about doing the ginger team or some shit like that. Or
I think you said. I think that's when you said like the
ginger ninjas.
Oh, I don't know
Some shit. I don't.
But I think I like the team too because I've always talked about like I like the speed and then power, and like that is a perfect team, especially with Mercer's creativity. Um, and Blake's creativity and how smooth and awesome he is in the ring. That could be a formidable tag team and could be uh that could be taking the tag division, but Mercer, as he showed in NGI, as he always does, willing to step in, even though he's not announced. He steps in these
Gosh,
like that's like the second or third tournament I've seen in just GCW where he's not announced, but he's in it and he fucking puts on a
amazing.
performance. And I would like to see him as Ultra. I think him and Rena would have a killer match, but he would just bring something different as the Ultra Violent champion, and especially with Rena being as champion as long as she has, I think not, kind of being now, especially if you're kind of this is out of nowhere with this push with Mercer, and I'm glad, and it could be because of his performance at NGI and the past performances that now they're going to push him with Blake and gave him like a substantial role. I wouldn't mind seeing him be the one to take the belt off Rena and kind of a monumental. And I know it would suck as another heel champion, but I think the heel champions is perfect going into Collective. And then Collective be that feel good moment. All the faces win, they win the belts, kind of like not make up for the Hammerstein, but all these people want to bitch about Hammerstein and how our originals lost this week. A good feel good moment, and for the Collective in a new year, 2024, a good way to end it. But I think Mercer going carrying the belt into Collective would be fun, and I want to see him push. And with this character, him and Blake, like imagine him and Blake just walking into the ring carrying the belts, and how good that would look, and the muscle that Blake has now. Like I think that would just be a good look. And Mercer is like the new surprise name, I think, for the Ultraviolent belt or title.
Okay, I'm trying to think of who to really put that on, and I've really been stumped because there's so many people it can go on, but there's so many that don't need the rub. You know what I mean? Like, does Maki really need a belt? It's like
And that's what I'm
Gage.
saying.
Does
Mercer kind of needs it right now.
he could use it? Yeah, you know what? That would, yeah, elevation for him. That makes sense. Hard to argue.
Especially
You
with
just
this
put
new
my brain up on
character.
it.
Sorry, especially your new like. This is a push that he's never been, and now he's the world champion's muscle. He's now going to be probably out there every promo with Blake, and he's going to get more screen time now than he did. And him with a new belt, it will just elevate him as in my eyes.
I like how everybody's getting a meat partner. You got like Mason with Pero, and everybody's getting their meat partner. I wonder what that's going to be about. Again, I wonder if this all goes down to some type of a tag team thing down the road because there are so many people that are pairing up. It's
And
interesting.
it's like going against the GCW originals, which I think kind of leads to what I'm hoping for, like leads into some special story with those originals getting or regulars getting a cool moment at Collective and winning the belts. And all that time is going to get all that heel heat, and the perfect heels right now could be the champions to get all that heat. And then just imagine how happy Collective will be. Just, hey, like go crazy. Then at the end, the clusterfuck, just one big party, but the fans will be happy as the regulars that they've been cheering for are champions. And that's what I'm hoping Collective turns into.
So,
There's my bad idea already for 2024. I'll bookmark this for next year.
so you already know my answer, but I'm going to ask you, who's your next choice for JCW champion?
Alec
Or
Price.
do we have the same? Yeah, we're going to have the same one here. I
Alec
think it's
Price or
just,
Manders.
yeah, you know, that's an interesting choice. Though, with right now, okay. When it comes to the UV title or the Extreme title, putting one of those on Mance right now wouldn't hurt because right now he's trying to be the monster and a belt would elevate him also. So I would put him right up there with Mercer as someone who could really see something just by carrying that belt with him. And then, he can shove it in everyone's faces every time he wins. And he can do it well. Like, Manser is a smart man. And I know he plays his character and this and that. He's a smart man. You give him more props, he's going to make something out of it.
Yeah, for sure. What I don't know, like uh, I just don't want him to be the champion that Griffin McCoy. Like I like how they did a feud. It makes sense with the Young Dumb and Broke, but then I kind of with the videos and stuff, if I don't like, it kind of ruins it. But it makes it fun. I know they're separating it, and I'm all fine with that. But I just don't think I like the one match, but I didn't like him. Now I think he won the Battle Bowl if I'm not mistaken, and now he's like next in line to challenge for
Griffin
Jordan again. No,
McCoy.
I think so. I can't remember, but like he was out there and beat up Jordan again. I was just like, why? why are they continuing with this? Because
So basically,
I
you're just not interested in him as.
Oh yeah, Griffin McCoy did win because they
Yeah.
just did this match and they did all that hype and buildup was done. I don't think
Okay.
it's like they can't build that back up to the same hype. Like that was
Hmm.
a one. That was like a Edge and Matt Hardy. Like build it up, one and done. That's it. You go 2, 3, and
Gotcha.
4, then it's gonna
Okay.
lose
Yeah.
every time. Like that's what it feels like this one was because it was like a
Hmm.
blood feud. They were young, dumb, and broke. They were the clique for a while, and it broke up because of the Griffin McCoy. And like now they're going back to it again after Jordan already beat him. I don't like that one, and I kind of hope because he is the next one to challenge Jordan. I hope Griffin doesn't win, but that's what it kind of looks like. I think they could do a lot of fun stuff with some other bigger names than Griffin McCoy. And this is not. I love Griffin. I just don't think he should be JCW champion in my
I
eyes.
I wouldn't give it to him. Just for me, there's not as much personality there for me to attach to. If I look at him, I go, okay, he's a guy. Okay. And that's kind of where it stops right there. I mean, I do need someone that, I could connect with a little more. I would be very disappointed if that JCW title went to him instead of using it to say elevate someone who's on the middle card of the GCW show.
Especially after everything Jordan has done for it, like as the
Yes.
only title holder and defend it in all those different countries and all the different matches. Griffin is not going to live up to those expectations. I think it's
No.
going to be
No.
like you're not going to send Griffin to Japan with that belt, or you're not going to send Griffin McCoy to the UK with that belt as a name like that. I just think it does have to be a higher name. I agree with you there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to ask that one. That's always a fun question. But yeah, I saw Alec in this one just because it's like baby world title. How do you carry
Yep.
the baby world title? And if you carry that well, it's up you
And
go.
elevate it, yeah, and he could elevate it, especially with all the matches he's done, and if he could carry that belt to kind of other promotions now, I don't know, because he wrestles in all these different promotions, so
Yeah.
that would just get more names and elevate that title too. Like he could do the exact same things Jordan doing and fill right in for Jordan while Jordan's gone, even though Jordan's taking that belt supposedly. Uh, probably is now. I don't know if Jordan's probably already over in the UK. I haven't kept up so much, but I know he was going there soon, and he's taking that belt and challenge. I think he's going to lose it to like man like Darius or Leon Slater, and then one of those two are coming out here for like I thought I saw like they did like a talent like some sort of talent exchange.
Hmm.
Is what I thought I saw. So I could see that kind of happening. One of those carrying the title, which would be cool, and having some cool matches out here as a champion, and then lose it to somebody out here until Jordan comes back or whatever.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know what? That ended up being a really good little question there, huh?
Yes, they
Man.
all been so far.
So far so good. Um the other thing was I just wanted more lucha elements in scrambles. That's another thing I'd kind of like to see more. I felt like when I watched a couple of the older shows, there was more lucha elements in it. And oh my god, watching old Ninja Mac, I forgot when he was a little younger and a little quicker how much. And I mean, he's fantastic now, but my goodness, the twists and the turns and the spins that he would get when he was younger was just wow. So
I I kind of might disagree with that one because I kind of like all the lucha stuff they've been doing as of late, especially
yes.
all the new names. Like that Seattle one, forget it. Like that might have been the best GCW lucha match. That's taking my Hammerstein place. I think the next match I show because that
Yeah.
was incredible. I kind of like what they've been doing. I wish we get a little bit more Vikingo, but I know Vikingo's working AEW a little bit more. That's going to be tougher. But I love all these new names they are bringing in. Like for the last match, like the Laredo Kids and the names are just missing because they're even bringing names I never even heard of before, and they're killing it. I actually been kind of just trusting what they've been doing for the lucha stuff and enjoying it.
Well, you were you there for El Bandito? The last
No,
LA? No, you weren't.
no.
Okay, I'll just tell you live. His shit
Hey,
went
Fire
over like
J.
his shit went
Whatever.
over like fire, like fire live. It looked great, and then the two miscommunications he had with Ninja Mac and whatnot kind of threw it over the edge. Outside of that, I'd tell you though, like everything he was doing, the fans were eating up because it's not often to see a lucha who's I'm guessing he was 6'2", 6'3". He's a
Yeah,
big dude up there, and just to do the corkscrews and shit like he was doing was fantastic. What's up, Fire J
yeah,
Mia?
yes. Welcome. Um, Yeah, Bendino's like I didn't get to see him live, but I'm
Oh
trying to
man.
quickly see if I could pull up all the names that they just announced for the one coming up because that was another like six person that you can't put together.
Yes.
Like only GCW is putting these names together and getting magic from their luchas. I think they've been killing lucha. That's why I kind of wanted to disagree a little bit on what you said, but I kind of
What I
they're
meant
old, like the
probably
old
was
seeing
I
old
meant
like Ninja
more.
Mac and yeah.
Yeah. I just wish I had more, I guess.
Yeah, Aramis, Flamita, Bendito, Latigo, Arez, like Arez, that's another one. Like that's a talking point in itself.
Mhm.
Arez is getting Leo Rush. God damn, I want that match in GCW. When that match was
When
announced by VXS,
Oh, that's
VXS is
VXS's?
coming back.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
VXS, Leo Rush. Oh my god, that is a match like I didn't even think, but I've been loving what Arez has been doing. I love Leo Rush. And now you put both of those together. Oh my god, that match!
Mhm.
If that was in LA, I'd be driving to LA for that VXS show just on that one match because those
Ooh.
two are just an amazing pair. Like I cannot wait to see what's going on, man.
Well, I keep getting messages from Isaac
Ah,
about the shows, and every time I ask about Vegas, he doesn't say anything. So, fingers crossed in the next couple months, maybe we see a VXS in Vegas.
that would be fun. I
Fingers.
hope so because like I loved the last show was way more ridiculous than it ever needed to be. The one prior, Drew Parker versus Arez was in the mall. That was more incredible than it needed to be too. And yeah,
Yeah.
VXS was one of those fun companies. When Isaac announced they're coming back, I appreciate it. I just want to get to Fire J real fast. Hey, thank you for stopping by. Bendito Cartwheel. Yeah, Cartwheel's been the growth that Cartwheel showed last year too was insane, and he's just
Yes.
killing it. I love seeing him
Yeah.
getting more opportunities in Ring of Honor and AEW. Bendito versus Cartwheel is going to be fun. Like, yeah, this week, that weekend, for wrestling and GCW, that is going to be crazy. Oh, it's this weekend. I thought it was next weekend. I thought I had this weekend off of wrestling. I
No,
guess I'll be
no, no,
watching. All
no.
right,
Yeah,
all
I've
right, I
I've got
guess.
a preview show to throw together too, and I've been trying to figure out my music. So I've been watching these feeds like crazy because you know how it is. Like sometimes they'll give you a
Hey,
match or two a day before the show, and my preview's already out. I'm like, shit. Or
hey,
someone gets
Fire
into.
Jet. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you there. I thought you were stopping.
No, no, no. I should stop.
I was just gonna say, hey, Fire Jet, real fast. I might hit you up for some graphics. As you see, we're kind of needing them for YouTube. This is our first one, so definitely wouldn't mind reaching out to you and talking graphics if you're still here.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes.
So yeah, this was something I was just going to say for a minute, and I don't know how many people are seeing it, and I can't really get too far into it, but if you go back and you watch Rick Rude from the WWF in the 80s, you're going to see Effy more than you know. If you watch the way he wrestles, if you watch the way he keeps his hands open when he does his thing, all that good stuff, really pay attention. You're going to see Rick Rude covered in gloss. There's a cockiness there and everything else.
His
So
presentation too, yeah, he kind of does yeah, his presentation fully is
thanks,
like
man.
very much Rick Rude's kind of stuff. I do like that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that kind of comparison. That's a good one.
So yeah, I'm trying to see here. Oh, but I forgot
Thanks,
to tell you
Vince.
too. Me and Turtle, the wifey, we were sitting down, we were watching cage matches best, so to speak. Basically, I just pulled up, cage matches best reviewed, GCW shows. We went through Run Ricky Run. We went through the very first Backyard. We went through Tournament of Survival 666. Like, it was
Sure.
pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Really good stuff that was going down there. Going back and watching 2019 and 2020 GCW, there are some people I miss. It's okay to say it, man. There are some wrestlers I really do miss. Going back and watching Nick Gage Invitational 2. Oh my gosh, man. Speaking of
I'll be.
mestizos,
Oh yeah.
you first,
TOS
because
three. No,
yeah,
TOS three for me. With I think it was TOS three. With Los Mestizo's. That was the one for me that was made me a fan of Los Mestizo's for sure.
yeah, it was, I think it was 2 and 7. Tournaments 2 and tournament 7 were the ones that the Macizos brothers were in. Maybe I'm wrong. Double check me if you get a chance.
Oh yeah, I'm
Because,
looking. It was a long time ago, but those ones were fun.
dude,
That one
just
wasn't in
so
Voltage,
brutal.
right?
Say it again.
That one you're talking about, that one was the first one not at the Voltage Lounge, or was that still at Voltage Lounge?
2 was at the Voltage. I
Voltage, yeah, two was
don't quote
Voltage.
me, but they were at a place that looked like the Voltage, if not. Yeah, some of those matches, man, it just oof. I never went back and seen the first Backyard show though, and that was really fun to watch because that was the official unofficial debut of Zane.
Dang, yep.
Alex
I'm about to
Zane.
say Alex Zane. Is that who you're thinking of? Tony
Gosh, yeah,
Deppen, first
my
match.
mind I was
Jumping
gonna
over
say
the car? Yeah,
yes.
jumping over the car and shit. I'm
Gosh.
pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure that was the first match.
So if you go
Oh yeah, C
online
Club played
somewhere,
TOS 3.
okay, so it was 3. That's my bad, dude.
That
Yeah,
was
there was
bad.
one,
I just loved it because it was those two.
man. Yeah, so there was one where they kind of went back and forth. Like one Masiso's brother got eliminated in the first round. The one went to the semifinal, and then in TOS 7, I think they flipped.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, my camera
it
here.
was against Tony Deppen, yeah. Oh yeah, those old backyard shows were fun. Like there was that one where the guy shoots himself like in the face with the firecracker. Like I
Yeah.
died laughing. I couldn't breathe. I started laughing. You hear silence, and then I'm just dying laughing again. Those old shows were fun to go back and fun. So, but I was gonna say I haven't had a feeling since like not TOS specifically, but like more like the Run Ricky Run with like the
Hmm.
big storyline.
Yeah.
Effy,
Yeah.
Effy and Mance, that's bringing it back. Like that's starting the big one where I think it's going to live up to like that kind of hype. Like that's the kind of got me like super excited and like just going back and watching the. That's like right when I started watching GCW was that stuff. So going back and catching up and getting invested in hating 440 and all that shit. Like now,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna hate Manser. Like this is a tough one. I think this is gonna be good. This is a tough one for fans. Like we love Manser, but we love Effy and it's I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see
They're
how it
good
plays out, but it's
dudes.
gonna be fun to watch it.
They're such good dudes, both of them. And you know what I mean? Like they I mean, come on, we're all wrestling. They get along so well. They're so nice. They really, really do get along well. And I'm gonna say that anything that those two have put their minds together for as long as I have seen them put their minds together, they're gonna come out with something really good. My hope is that everything they're planning on doesn't get cut short and that everybody pays more attention to the little promos and everything that Effie and Mance are cutting online because I really wish we've said this 100 times that more performers at GCW would follow suit. Give me a little meat on the bone on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Give me something to talk about. Give me something to retweet. You know, move that story along. I don't want to hear just about it on the weekends. Tell me how much you hate that motherfucker while you're sitting at home on Tuesday. That's what I like to see.
And it's been cool seeing Mance like even going with Cardona to do the
Yeah.
major that the podcast of Cardona's like that was cool to see. And like you just see like the Cardona kind of influence on the GCW wrestlers. Like, hey, get out there and get that merch, get those fans behind you and do some stuff on social media. It's fun seeing those people take advantage of all that stuff. I forgot I got this cool feature on the stream.
Thanks,
I gotta
Blizzard.
put up that. Yes, I gotta put up that. Let's put up that. There we go. Hey, see it? Ah, I forgot about
Oh,
that. I'm gonna. I gotta put up the one that Jay said. That was cool too. It was cool seeing him come on. Let's see how long it
there we
stays
go.
on. Did it
Good
pop
shit.
up yet? There we
There's
go.
Fire J. Sweet. Yeah, we're just getting the kinks
I'll put
worked
my
out on it.
logo up
This is
top.
awesome.
Yeah, just messing around with the live version right here.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
cool.
So I got a chance to meet George South. That was so cool. Like Southern, like I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. He's a dying breed. You and I both kind of know how that goes. Like nobody cuts promos like him, nobody gets heat like him, and it's the old style of doing things. I don't know anyone else that can do it like him yet, so I was really excited to see him in LA. But yeah, I
I
walked up
love.
to him, dude. Sorry.
No, you go.
I walked right up to him. I'm like, dude, I have watched you since like 85. I've seen you here, here, and here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming out and God bless you. That's, and that's him. He's a religious guy. So, he appreciated that. So that's really my story. I see a man that's, he's standing there. He's in his 50s, 60s, old worn white boots, his old jacket, I'm like, damn, that is a weathered wrestler. And he was so nice. Yeah.
How was the pop that he got in LA? Because like on screen it sounded pretty loud, and I was like, "Whoa, good for him getting that kind of pop."
Oh, yeah, he went over like wildfire. That's what I like about the fans too, because we all kind of watch, so we know what's coming. So when he came out, people were just electric. They knew exactly what they were getting. And I think most of them understood how rare it was going to be to see him now, let alone if we'll ever see him again on the West
Again,
Coast.
yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure
so
on the West Coast.
and then I don't know how much it was heard, but there were people saying we love you and stuff like that on the way out to him. So, you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
saw
We
like
we rough
the
him up like a
fans.
puppy, and then we kind of pet him on the, head and the, he
Yeah.
knows.
That did show up there. I did see that, like, at the end, like, he was all in character, but then, like, right when he kinda got to that walkway, he's like, "Hey," like, kinda high five, "Thank you, guys, thank you." I did like that. It was cool to see him kinda enjoy that moment and get that moment, especially, as you said, because there might not like, he doesn't like, I don't this was his first time in GCW on the West Coast, so that might not happen again.
Yeah, what was nice is just to see him smile. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
see all these guys with their no, seeing him genuinely smile without that scowl. Like watching it's like seeing Gage smile without the his prison face on, the tough mean mug face. Like, man, and it's really nice when you can crack a bad guy who's trying to be in character and he kind of smiles. And yeah, I mean, we have I've seen Santana Jackson 100 times, but Mike Jackson, he's going to be in LA.
Yeah.
He's the next one that I'm looking forward to meet. I've already talked with him on the. You remember when I got off the phone
The
with him
phone, yep.
right before, and I was all excited. I'm like, I fucking talked to Mike Jackson. Da, da, da. And he was like, "Yeah, man, give out my phone number if anybody wants any merch or if they just want to say hi, call me." I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn." I don't know if it was a cell phone or a house phone, but when I called the number, he picked right up. So
Probably a
that
house
was
phone.
well. That's the
Definitely a
other thing is
landline there.
well, I'm gonna see him in LA because he wanted to do. He's one of like 20 freaking interviews we got to cash in on because he wanted to do an interview too.
Yeah, that's why I like when Fire J showed up, I was like, "Oh my god, man!" Like that's like I said, the one person I've been trying to get the graphics. That's the one person I've been wanting to talk to. So
Nice.
I want to get the graphics going. That's what's been holding up this going live. This is if you're watching on YouTube, this or listening on the podcast, this is we're doing this live on YouTube as well, and we're just gonna do this. We're gonna roll with this. The graphics, it is what it is right now. We're gonna get some nice ones. Hopefully, I can get in touch with someone as talented as Fire J. We'll get the graphics, and then we'll get the interviews going. And
Sweet.
yeah, make this a little bit more professional, as the Biz said. He goes, where he goes, your guys' stream already looks nicer than Rene Dupree, so we're gonna make it look even nicer here in the next couple months. And John's
Oh,
got his
Renee.
magic that he's gonna make the podcast sound
Yep.
tremendously better.
Well, I'm
And yeah,
practicing, but we're getting there.
I'm
No,
excited
it
to see
does.
all this stuff.
Yeah, and then of course, once we get back into the review of
Yep.
things, I'm going to start kind of putting in some clips and notes. So if we're talking about, say, a promo that Effy cut, I'm just going to put the 30, 45-second Effy promo clip directly into the podcast so you can actually hear what the hell's going on. Let's see, who else? What else? I don't know. I was just so excited about I was just so damn excited about seeing George South. I almost said Mike Jackson. I'm looking at my notes at the same time, so I got my fingers on three different things here at once. NGI 8, how are you feeling about how that went down? You had to be happy, dude.
Oh yeah, I was ecstatic. Uh, I'll pull it up here real fast so that way I could make sure I get my notes right here. But Miedo fucking deserved it. Loved
Yes.
seeing it. Loved like the excitement at the end. Like that's what gets me with him and Ciclope at the end. Like he's just like the relief and the love, and he's just so happy. Like you could tell he didn't want to be anywhere else other than right there in that ring in the terminal, getting the love from the GCW fans. Like he loved it and soaked that moment in. He fucking tore it up. That NGI was fucking insane. I wish Frank, maybe one of these next podcasts we do, like we get Frank that we had on before.
Yeah, bring him in.
He was there front one. I would love to hear all the stories that they have about everything happening up front in the front row. But NGI was insane. Yeah, the first match, the women's match, I thought was really good. I didn't think a lot of people knew kind of Raza Sarah. I just knew of her just because the people I met in Phoenix that they kind of brought it up and showed me some of her clips, and
Yeah.
she was badass. So I was excited. That match was killer, but that whole tournament was insane. Like I loved it, and then as we talked about that scramble in the middle, that was a super fun scramble. NGI was a perfectly done tournament.
Yeah.
Each match, a Fire J. I wish you were here so you hear these praises. That those videos in between the matches were so perfect. They got hyped, and man, like even then, like to have it NGI done for the aftermath the next night, he had those videos and clips and packages done. Like it was incredible. Like NGI was insane. That weekend was the perfect way to end GCW 2024. And I kind of got like a little Christmas present, as he did the exact idea that I asked for on the Twitter space, and I said, it is Nick Gage and Jun Kasai going to be the last match of 2023 and the first match of 2024?
Yes.
And sure as shit, it happened, and I fucking popped. I heard the crowd. Like, I watched it on delay, so I didn't even know what time it was live happening. Like, I assumed it was getting close to midnight. I kind of heard, like, they were kind of giving updates, but then they did mention, like, before that match was going to be doing that. And I just thought that was kind of cool, because I brought that up to Brett on a Twitter space, and he was like, just kind of, as you said, that's a good idea. So
Yep.
seeing one of my ideas kind of pop up, even though he probably had that in mind, was good. But NGI was fun. What did you think? I know you're a big John Wayne Murdoch fan, and he had a fun tournament too. And like that main of like the run that he went on, we talk about Miedo. John Wayne Murdoch went through who's who during that tournament and put on an incredible performance. So yeah, once you we just like to hear your thoughts on that one. Yeah, I know we got the mic issues, both of us. All right, there we go.
All right.
A little loud though.
There we go. Little loud. I got you, brother.
Yeah.
Here we go. How's that? A little better?
Sounds like it's off. You might want to check the Shure app.
1 second.
Yeah, it sounds like it's picking up everything.
Right here. There it is. Is that better?
No, I don't think so.
No, as in it's too loud.
Yeah, it's like way loud, and then it's like picking up all your background, like literally way more.
1 moment.
Yeah, it's that's basically. I was just about to say that sounds like it's coming from a different source. So check on that bottom.
Okay,
maybe
so
there's a different one.
I'm looking right now.
You're watching this on YouTube. We're cutting this out. This will be cut out on the podcast.
Yeah, and keep it in, and everybody can laugh at me. Okay, is it better now, or is it still all funky?
It's still this funky.
Oh no! Oh my god! Okay,
it's all right. Like, I can hear you. It just sounds like none of your settings is
like all my settings are screwing.
It's kind of like a raw. You're getting like the raw sound.
Oh gosh, how's that now? Still raw and funky?
Yeah.
Still raw. Oh no.
Maybe try unplugging it and plugging it back in.
I'm gonna have to. Give me a second. I have technical difficulties.
It's all right. I'll talk about some shit while
talk shit.
That. All right. I'm gonna mute you, so just so we know when you come back, unmute yourself, okay? All right. Hopefully you heard me. I muted you. Hold on. Yeah, it's still the same. Are the Shure settings the same?
That's what I'm gonna find out right now.
Okay.
Can you hear me still? It's like loud, huh?
Yeah, it's still this like.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not good. That's not good. I don't know what to do here. Let me see.
Like on the bottom, when you get to pick your mic.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay.
Hold on. Some settings have changed.
Okay. I got the settings if you need it too.
There we go. Can you hear me now? You can hear me now?
Yeah, it's still the same though.
Shit. Okay, I'll turn this down. Is that a little better when I talk like this?
Yeah, go down more.
Okay, so like right there maybe?
Are you on the Shure app? That's the same. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the Shure app. Everything's where it should be too.
Okay, so
I can tell you what, let me auto level. There we go. And then I'll put my tone down to here. Is it still super loud and all that good shit?
Yeah.
No kidding. Okay. No, it's okay.
Like it might be like at the bottom. Like I said, it sounds like maybe the different source, but I don't know.
Interesting. I'm stumped. All I can do is turn it down here a little more. Does that do anything there?
Seems like it helped a little bit.
Should I jump out and try to jump back in then and see maybe if that
does
it? Because I feel like a moron here and I don't know anything.
Sorry, yeah, maybe that will help out.
And since we're off the record for a second, Bizzard, good luck tomorrow, dude. Hopefully you get it.
Yes, good luck, Biz.
I'll be right back. Stay right here, brother.
All right. For the live YouTube, I'll just kind of keep on rambling. But yeah, NGI was fun. And let's see here. Oh yeah, so I hope he's gonna check it out. Yeah, NGI was fun. This has been a good show. We had gone on an hour. We covered a lot of stuff. Actually, I thought we probably thought this was going to last a little bit longer. It might be ending a little bit sooner, but maybe anyway ending a little bit sooner than before. But at least we got something out that we could put out there for you guys. We are back. I know I kind of went radio silent. I had my own issues going on with the little health stuff and computer stuff, but we are back. I try to communicate as much, and we are going to be back, as John said. He's going to be adding some stuff to the podcast. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see if we sound.
Adding me to the podcast. Is it still good, bad, loud? What is it?
No, it sounds normal.
Oh my gosh, I wonder what happened.
Yeah, it sounds back to normal. Okay, good.
All
No,
right.
I'm just saying how you're gonna add those sound bites. I'll just kind of just quickly recapping what we talked about. I kind of said that we kind of probably covered a lot more than we thought in that short amount of time, but we still probably got a lot more to talk about. But and letting everybody know that we are back and with the communication and how the upgrades that hopefully are going to happen with the podcast.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we're talking about. Oh, God.
No, I was going to say, I got this huge new board I'm trying to figure out, and I'm now working on a specific program that's supposed to be for amateurs and professionals, which is super deep. But I've been starting to produce the preview shows on that, and hopefully this episode or the next review, I'm going to start kind of getting these now into a better audio quality and cleaning them up. So it's kind
And
of
I
fun to
love
do
those
this, though,
reviews,
with
man.
everyone. Oh, with
Those
sound clips
previews
and
are
everything.
awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to try to keep them up. I'm going to probably put a little bit more opinion in those, only because it's hard to say that, this person's won this many championships over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll figure that out. Probably put a little opinion in there, but yeah, I'm going to try to keep the sound effects going, and I'm trying to pick up sound like this Chicago show and Columbus show coming up. I'm trying to find Chicago artists and, artists from Ohio. So figuring it out. Artists in Ohio, there's not a lot.
I'm about to say, yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
That one's on your end.
Bone Thugs and Harmony and 9 Inch Nails. That's all we have. Marilyn Manson, I guess, too. But
So we're talking NGI, and I wanted to
Yes.
see what your thoughts were, because one thing I was just about to what I was about to get to was I loved how they named and had the different not stipulations, but different names and styles for each match, where we had the Escalera. Okay, hold on, I got it right here. The Ultraviolet Jungle of Death, the Barbed Wire Warfare, the Rounds or City Glass Death Match, Boards of Brutality, Doorway to Destruction, and then finally, the Escalera de la Muerta death match. I loved how they had all those different kind of names to it and kind of themes to each match. That brought something unique to it.
it's beautiful is what it is.
I'm trying to look up, the old 7. Here we go. I got to 7. Did they do the same thing on 7? No. So last year they did not name it. But I thought like one of the years before they did have all these different kind of styles and matches. So I thought it would be something NGI exclusive. But I did enjoy that because I like the names. It made it all a little bit more fun.
So the one thing that I wanted to point out first, did you see Emel's jacket at the NGIA? He had the blue, like the light blue, the WCW jacket. He had an OG WCW jacket.
Oh yeah, nah. I probably saw it, but I just don't remember it. I know. I used to remember all those shirts he wore.
The fans that
AC crowd was nuts. I wanted to see what you thought of that because they were loud.
It was nice to hear. Sometimes a lot of sound has been lost, or the fans have kind of been lost in the size of the terminal. So it was nice that something had been happening there. Also, I noticed that they were trying to get more fan sound pumped into the audio at home, because every now and then you could hear it come in really good and then
spike,
come in again. And I'll take it. Any effort is better than none. I really do want to hear what we hear live, because anybody who's been to a show knows it is so crazy live. But then when you come home and watch it, you're like, I don't remember it was that quiet. That's why
the LA show's kind of good like that.
And I've said it before. I'll say it here just for fun. But yeah, there's been times I've come home like, oh my God, that LA show was so good. And then I watch it. It sounds like a Friday night at a Chili's. And I'm like, wait, hold on now. Something isn't right here. But yeah, I watched the MLW show, the recent one, since we're talking about every kind of wrestling here. And they did a great job with their sound for their fans. All that they did was they had 2 microphones pointed directly at their fans, hung up directly above the ring, but way up there. So that's how they were getting their fans mic'd, and it sounded pretty damn good. So I'm hoping they get that figured out, and I know that they're trying. I talk to them. I know that they're trying. I'm so nice, and I'm so. I try to be nice to them, but at the same time say, hey man, is there any way we can do this? Like they've even given me advice on that board that I bought on like what brands to buy and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Nice.
the crew at GPW has been really fucking nice to me about that.
What was your
Also,
thoughts on? Oh, good. Go.
I was just gonna say I recommend watching this thing in full. Every single match was good, and I can't always say that. Every single match here fucking rocked.
What was your
Uh-oh.
thoughts on Fatu?
Fatu. Okay, so I'm just trying to remember. Give me a second here because I have to actually check my notes here on him. He went out in the first round, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's bullshit. That's what I think.
I
No,
thought
you
he
know
killed
what?
it.
He did kill it. Absolutely. My problem was this here. If anybody pays attention, John Wayne Murdoch is always in the finals of almost any GCW tournament he's ever been in. If you want to see who's going to be in the finals, there's a like solid 90% chance that John Wayne Murdoch will be one of the finalists. He's one of the best you could have in the ring as a death matcher. He's extremely safe in what he does. And if you wanted to have your important person in someone's hand for a death match, he's a very good one to have. He shows up and he does his job, just like Mercer, like we were saying, just Mercer.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't touch on that enough, but dude, what he did in that match was wow. I mean, come on, just oh yeah, hey, you want to do a death match tournament? Throw your shit on, you're going out. Ooh,
Yep.
wow.
Jacob, like, I loved how he just dove into it. Like, he literally
Yes.
dove into the glass outside. Like, he went balls to the wall. Like, it was only a short, like, we got him like short spurts, which like is fine, is perfect for him, especially that he might have wrestled other death matches anywhere. Like, I've seen him wrestle a little bit in other companies, but like, this was one of the first, like, probably the biggest stage death match that he's had. And I
Yeah.
thought he did good. And I thought he showed like those little spurts of, if he were to do it, he'd be a dangerous fucker in the deathmatch scene if he were to able to go full on in. He didn't wear shoes though, or he wore shoes. I was wondering if he'd go barefoot or go with the shoes. That was one bet I was kind of having going on.
Could you imagine if there was a fan that wrote his ass on the side there about, hey, why'd you put shoes
Right?
on, bro? I thought you
I
were
brought
tough.
my dumbass would have probably said something like that just in jest, but then I would have got super kicked right in the face. No, he ain't
Dude,
gonna go
he's
to
another one.
WWE.
He's so fucking nice. Dude,
Yeah.
Jacob's so fucking nice. Really, like
Yep.
down to earth, nice guy. You wouldn't want to piss off and strong as can be, but very, very, very nice guy. This Risa, I think you touched on Risa Sarah for a minute here. Risa Sarah. I was trying to do some homework on her so that I could put together again that preview show, and I only found one match with her on YouTube that was worth a damn, but it was so good. It was her versus Rina Yamashita. And
Yep.
Rena gets cut a little too hard.
That was the
And
match that got me on. Like, that's literally the match that they showed me to get me to go on her, because like they showed how bloody that she got Rena, but how like crazy Risa was with the weapons and like her moveset, and she's willing to go just as crazy as Rena is.
yep. Did you see in that that first round match that Masha accidentally ate a kendo stick to the head? Oh,
I don't
yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
specific spot. No.
There's a part where Risa grabs the kendo stick and she's kind of doing her smooth I can do a kendo stick thing, and she fucking cracks. I think she hits Masha, and then Emerson Jane comes around and she goes to hit Emerson, and when she hits Emerson, she makes contact, and on the follow through, you know how like a baseball,
Yeah.
you hit a baseball and the bat on the follow through. On the follow through, she hit Masha straight in the side of the head with the
I
with
must
the
have
thing.
missed that spot.
Oh, it's hilarious. And then the other one was Emerson Jane was being pinned, and Risa Sarah was doing the pinning, and Masha came over with a light tube and broke it over Risa's back, and all the powder and all the shit came out directly on top of Emerson's head.
Yeah, I
Like
remember
she,
that one. I do remember. She was
oh,
like, "What? Like what? Like blowing it all off her face."
she got a lot of love after the match. I think all three did really, really well.
I thought she had a great weekend too. Her match against Joey was crazy. Like Joey pushed her and she delivered. Like there were some points like you could kind of tell like she was like, "Holy shit, is this really happening?" Like I'm
Yeah.
about to do this with Joey, and she went for it, and I think she killed it. Like and we said, I think you were the one who said you would love to like. I think she's one of those TNT wrestlers, if I'm not mistaken, that we've been
Yeah.
wanting to, like you said that you wanted to see come over, and yeah, she killed it. I wouldn't mind seeing her come back for one of those tournaments because she definitely earned it.
Yeah, they all three women got please come back chants from the crowd.
Yep.
So I mean, that's all you have to say right there. And right after this match was the first thing I wanted to mention that GCW does better than anyone else. That's having a cleanup crew that can actually get something done in under 5 minutes. We're
That
live.
was
We're
they were
live, so I'm just
fast.
gonna say it, bro. I watched the Circle 6 tournament this past weekend. You're smiling already. I watched the tournament. Yeah. So I watched this tournament. It took almost, okay, I know why it's Circle 6. It took almost that many hours to watch the show. No kidding. I don't know if you still have my fight sign on, dude. If you want to watch Circle 6, I bought it with like my free credits or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Nope. I was really expecting some shit. Like me and Steph are watching it. I turned to her. I'm like, "You're a bad luck charm." Every time that I watch Circle 6 with you, it's just nah. Like,
Oh,
I
you're
don't
talking
know
about
what it
King of the
was.
Death Match? I got
Yeah,
it.
was
I do want to check it out. Like, that is
check
I
it
didn't
out.
hear. I actually didn't hear anything about the whole tournament. I don't even know one or anything. Like I
Exactly.
do want to, and that's fine. I'd rather go into it blind like that because I want to see like root for some people and stuff like that. But it looked interesting. But
Like
I'm
I'm not against any of it. It's just every time I've spent hours to watch it, it hasn't been that good. And I know I must be missing the good stuff because there's quite a few who really love it. It's just it doesn't seem like it's put together very well. It took I think between 45 minutes and an hour before the first match went underway. I had to
Oh
listen
wow.
to 30-40 minutes of KG talking to Valentine, I think. I mean, just they were just talking. And my wife is like, "This sucks. Fast forward it." So luckily, it was it wasn't live at the time. But yeah, I think after match 1 was done, we were an hour and 15 in, and the match was maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not easy. Um, I haven't caught up on XPW in a while. I'm using all the dirty language tonight. I haven't
I'm
caught up
about
on
to say yeah.
XPW in a
We
while,
do a roundup.
dude. They're
I haven't
so
heard anything of them.
ever since they moved off of Fight TV and onto their own platform, it pretty much cut them. I really do
Oh, so
think
yeah.
because ever since then, the only thing you're hearing about them is when something fucked up happens and they get memed. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what I'm
Yeah.
seeing. So I may watch it just for historical value to be like, oh hey, look, I've uh Bizzard, I won't disagree with you, but I won't say it out loud either. My personal opinion. I know some of them. That's pretty much what they are, but we won't talk too far about that. Um, yeah. So anyway, look at dude. I butterfly now that I have like things to talk about here, and I'm looking at my notes and shit, dude. It's like squirrel.
I'm about to
God.
say I think we covered a lot of those topics. There's like only one or two that I could think of that we haven't.
It
The worst
happens.
one's Mance or Effy.
Well, yeah, the Mance and Effy situation again. I'm looking forward to seeing what they've done because they've really spent time on that, and I know between the both of them, um, I've I know exactly what their vision is for GCW. I know exactly what they want to do to get there. So for me, I'm hoping that they use this opportunity to do that, and I'm hoping it sets a good example for other wrestlers to enrich the product by coming up with their own storylines that we can all follow and watch. That's what I think.
Here's one thing. Here's one
Shannon.
thing I'm kind of scared of with
Mhm.
with Mance Warner, and that is SGC. Is now how are they going to play this into it with Manders? Are
Manders.
they? I see. I was thinking maybe Mance and Effie get into some sort of pull apart, and then like while Manders is pulling someone, Mance accidentally like hits Manders, to kind of now set up that match and kind of set the breakup. But that's what I'm wondering, like, where are they going to go next? Like, how are they going to explain, or are they going to explain, or are they just going to keep Manders completely out of it? Because I know we are GCW, but how is this going to affect their booking in other promotions? I mean, I guess technically you could do whatever the hell you want. I've seen Alley Catch do whatever the hell she wants in GCW. So yeah, I guess I can't answer my own question there. I guess I don't know. Like, I just always like kind of like to see some sort of uniform, but I guess that each company is their own. But I was just wondering where they're going to go with that. If they're just going to kind of leave Manders out, because I think Manders could get a nice little push with a nice ultraviolet match with Mance, and Mance even go over, but let Manders do all the fucking work and get him over like how Mance what's his name, Mercer does. And Manders is another one of those names that we said that's up there for a big 2024. He had a giant 2023 and just in store for a giant 24 with all the companies he's still working for and all the bigger things and bigger names he's wrestling. I wouldn't mind seeing him have a great classic matchup with Mance to kind of further that story along, but also that kind of doesn't leave him off to the side hanging by himself doing nothing. It also elevates him. And then, hey, you had that good tough match. Now let's get you in against another, maybe a Mercer. Now, right after Mance, get in a Mercer and having another strong match and kind of keep that momentum going. Those are two names I've been dying to see getting pushed, and it is nice to see Mercer getting pushed. Now I want to see Manders getting pushed and not just left off to the side, which I'm always kind of scared of when tag teams and teams break up.
Yeah, with Manders, I've been wanting to see him on a single scene for a while. So this is going to be the sink or swim time for him. And I'm really looking forward to what he can do. He's 3 or 4 years in and he's won tournaments, he's won awards. So I know he's got a little ants in the pants. So I'm really hoping that he takes that nervous energy and turns it into something good. My curiosity is, how involved is he going to be with Mance after this? Is he going to be a henchman? Is he going to be one of these guys going, what the fuck are you doing, Mance? Is this going to be the secondary feud? He tries to talk to Mance and get his head together and interferes with the Effy match. And he's like, well, fuck you, Manders. I thought we were buddies. You interfered. You made me lose to Effy. And then boom, we've got a side thing going on there. So I don't know. I really do hope for the best for both men. I want to see successful singles titles and then just like Bussy, they both come together when they need to, and then we can just be thankful for the time they are together. That's what's going on here. SGC right now has 3 singles wrestlers that just happen to also like to be a team. They're all independently excellent wrestlers.
I wonder if this could be a showcase. Collective Weekend could be a showcase for Alley Catch with all. If they're bringing TJPW down, that's a lot of good singles matches you could have all weekend and just put on a performance and do a showcase. I think that could be a strong weekend for her to show out. I don't know why I went to that one. You were talking about showing out, and I just thought like one name that just popped up was that one.
Gosh, I'm actually looking at my notes to see if there was anything here about that Murdoch or Fatu match with Broski. So I had a prediction that never basically made it to our recording and to live, but I thought Broski Jimmy was going to be cheated with Cardona's help all the way to the top. If Jimmy would have won it, and by cheating, could you imagine the amount of heat of all the people that came out for that tournament just to have a fucked finish? Then he gets to challenge Blake the next night. You've got Jimmy against Blake. Cardona could have helped Jimmy get that title. Now Cardona has that belt exactly where he wants it, on Jimmy. And he just goes out there and at some point he just fucks over Jimmy. Now he's got his belt. He gets rid of Jimmy. Jimmy feels used, so on and so forth. And then all the fishies go back to their old lake. But yeah, I've had so many weird ideas of how to handle one thing or another. And Daiju Wakamatsu, that's the name of the wrestler that Shane Mercer had filled in for.
More, please.
He's young too. You know what that means? Young flesh in a deathmatch scene means you're going to have a young up and comer that's willing to bleed. So fingers crossed. We haven't seen, you look at the death matchers on this list here. None of them are in their 20s that I know of.
Yeah. I'm
gonna say good night real quick to someone.
Go ahead. That was that was my first time seeing him, and I was actually kind of impressed. I saw him. He missed the tournament, and that's why Mercer filled in for him. But the next day at JCW, he had a good match, I think, in the Battle Bowl, and that next night during the death match, he went crazy. He is definitely one that will go to the wind, and he kind of reminded me of Mao. I still want to see Mao come back in GCW. Mao is one of my favorites that I still want to see. Him and Brooks. Brooks got to come back as well. Let's see, other NGI Broski. I think John's right though. John like has something there. That could be one way they go still with that move, and Broski is they could still do something similar to what you were thinking. I could see that being. They got plenty of options to go with that story. That's what makes it so good. You don't know, like when you got that many options and you could go either way. That's when you know you got a good story. That was my whole thing when I saw like the Bloodline and Sami Zayn at first. Like Sami Zayn can stay. He doesn't have to screw him over. Like everyone just assumed that was going to happen, but like the more options and the more possibilities of where it could go, it makes it more fun as a fan. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited they got booked for that Phoenix show, and that was what I was going to ask you too. We got ICP Violent J in GCW multiple times this year, not just at WrestleCade, but we are getting him in Phoenix, and that was it. That's going to be a fun match. Deathmatch royalty, Jimmy Lloyd, SDL, and Cardona against Insane Clown Thrusty. Violent J, Alley Catch, and Dark Sheik. That is going to be a match.
So why it's thrusty there is that Effy won't be in Phoenix.
Yep.
So I don't know if you knew that or not, but
yeah,
I asked him last night or the night before. I'm like, dude, catch me up. Are you in LA and Phoenix? He's like, no, just LA. So I think Allie's there both nights though. Yeah, they are both nights. I was going somewhere. Holy crap! I just went all sideways in my head. I think it's just getting over illness too. Also, kind of has me like in a. God, man, we've been beaten up. We're old and beaten up and shit. Fuck.
I feel like this sickness called like 3 times. Like, my son got sick again today, so it's like we gotta watch it.
Something in the valley too. I mean, like it
Yeah.
seems like in Las Vegas, the way everything is just people just get sick and they're all compartmentalized. Even in the summer,
Just passing it.
We're just passing it to each other. Feel like that's all we ever do. The Violento Ciclope match, they had orange crush cans on the board where you can like fall down on them. I thought it was funny that they used crush cans to be crushed. Also, they haven't met up in 8 years. I didn't know that. That was their first match against each other in 8 years. That's saying something.
Wow, yeah. I told you that's the two I always used to
Vegas
confuse
sucks.
for each other.
Yeah,
Vegas does suck.
It's not. Yeah, I'm from Ohio, dude. I actually do miss the countryside. I'm not kidding. No kidding. I actually have. It's kind of funny. This is here we go. Old people talking again, dude. There are still a couple of hummingbirds in Las Vegas, and because I left my feeder out, they're still coming and like chilling, like they didn't die. So I have like groups of hummingbirds now that show up to my house every morning. Like they perch at certain spots and stuff. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So yeah, I have to have my little bits of nature even like that. So it's either that or my 2 golden retrievers that keep me busy. Oh my God. Let's see. Where else did I want to mention? Oh, geez. The wooden skewer board between Violento and Ciclope. That was probably one of the more dangerous things I'd seen in a while. I'd realized it was foam on the end later, but dude, that thing a couple times was kind of wow.
Yeah, they brought out some crazy weapons. I wish I would have taken notes of more of it, but there was some moments that NGI like I just was like screaming, like not squeamish, but like turned. When they kind of redid when Violento and Miedo redid the Ciclope Violento spot, that one kind of got to me because I got emotional just watching that one live. I was like, oh no, is he all right? And then when they did it again, I didn't even catch it like real fast. I think like as I was about to catch it, like what's the name? Prazek said something. I was like, oh okay, there. That's why I was going with it. That was a good tournament though. I thought that was a strong tournament. That was way stronger than I was expecting a lot, but that was good. That was a really good tournament.
I'm trying to think of the name of the individual. But the reason why I'm not good with skewers sometimes, like on the board situation, is that I had seen it used in XPW one time, and one of the skewers went into the one wrestler's arm. Do you remember any of this at all?
You were telling me that story.
Dude, the referee had to pull it out with his teeth because he couldn't get his fingers on it.
Was it Ludark, was it?
No, it was one of the other females, the lady that comes out with a Halloween pumpkin and shit. I can't think of her name right now. I almost said Hollow Wicked, but it's not. Can't remember
Oh,
what her name is.
uh, oh no, not Jody Threat. No, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So
I don't
what
know.
he did basically was she had it in her arm. So like if you can see the screen here, basically he put his fingers up against her arm and then spread the skin apart and then took his fingers and bit on it and pulled it out. Yeah, they didn't have pliers
Uh,
at the time. It was crazy. It's an XPW show. The referee fucking pulled it out, and he pulled out about an inch, 2 inch chunk that stuck directly in her arm. It was wild. That's the first time I've ever seen that before.
yeah,
Love it.
I remember
Love it.
you were telling me about that, but oof.
Yeah, it put an impression on me. I'll never forget it. Never, that was a new one for me. That's another reason why I like watching XPW though. It's a beautiful nightmare. Like everything about it is so wonderful and terrible, and yeah, they are really to me the last outlaws right now because they're taking in the outlaw talent. They're doing outlaw style shows. Whereas once you see a Circle Six show and a GCW show up against say an XPW, you're gonna see why GCW kind of has their shit together way better. You almost have to see some of these other shows to see how good we have it on some of our presentation.
Yeah,
And nothing's perfect, but yeah, XPW was the okay. So interestingly enough, because it was just asked, the MTV production was originally it was basically an XPW production. It was called what was that show? History Wrestling Society X. I
WSX.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know how many people knew that, but yeah, XPW was directly involved with Wrestling Society X, and what you were seeing was basically XPW on TV, scrubbed up clean for TV. So
That's
that's
when I first saw Teddy Hart.
no shit, really?
Yeah,
Oh wow. I didn't really get to like see much of his stuff until I already heard he was a train wreck. So,
and that's a bad part. Like even like I go back and watch some of these GCW shows, and he fucking kills it. And then like, you just know what kind of the shit that he's done. It's like, God, man, that's just a talent just wasted. And even at his age, not that he was wrestling 5 years ago, he was having fucking incredible matches and doing some crazy innovative shit and still nailing it perfectly.
yeah, well, we were talking about sick Nick Mondo earlier. That dude rode his body so hard he retired after I think 3 years in wrestling. Like now
Yeah.
that's pretty ballsy. He rode himself so hard that he's like, I can't. At 23, I think it was. It, just wow.
Jeez,
But if
that's
you
why
go
I'm kind
back
of
and look,
hoping doesn't happen to Drew Parker.
I
That's
think
what
that's
I'm
what
getting
happened to
scared
Drew
on.
Parker, and that's why he's out of DMs. I think he's out of
I
death
think he
matches
just got a bunch
because
of family stuff. That's
I
what I
hope.
think.
Well,
I don't know.
for the sake of his
Don't hope
professional
so, right?
career, I hope
Yeah.
the problem is temporary. So I hope it's temporary for his professional sake. But I mean, if he just says, "Look, this is it, and I'm done
True.
for right now," God bless him. What else are you gonna
Yeah.
do? Yeah, he's famous because of backyard. Yeah, you know what? By the way, there's still quite a few backyard and hardcore CZW wrestlers out there floating around. Like people didn't think about the Green Phantom being an old school CZW, death
I
matcher.
was I was actually just watching like old. I think it was Lucha de Muertos, like company, the Demand Lucha company, one of their shows, and
Uh-huh.
Green Phantom was on there going against I think it was Space Monkey.
Dude's been
And it
doing
was
it
like, what the
forever.
hell? Yeah, I was like, whoa, like what the hell's going on?
Dude, I saw Jimmy Jacobs wrestle without a dress. Blew my mind. No shit, because you know what I
Oh,
mean?
Jimmy
Like he's
Jacobs.
always dressing
Yeah.
in a dress. Yeah, I saw a match without him in a dress. I'm like, wow, there's Jimmy Jacobs. You know what I mean? Because I still don't feel if that character he had was more like him trying to be, edgy, or if that was him just trying to be him. But old school Jimmy Jacobs was fucking awesome in the ring. I'm just saying, in
Yeah.
ring, fucking awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, that match. Okay, on to the second round. John Wayne Murdoch and Masha Slamovich. That's when the gusset plates came out. Love it.
That yeah. That Masha killed it too this tournament. I knew she would. Like, but I actually thought maybe she was gonna get the upset on John Wayne Murdoch there. But as you said, John Wayne's like he's the betting favorite. You always bet him to go to the
Yeah,
finals.
yeah. You can always. I mean, John Wayne Murdoch losing the first round is just unheard of in a deathmatch tournament. He's just like I said. He's so solid that he's somebody you would want to have in there carrying that tournament.
And no offense to him, I love his deathmatch work. He was more than deserving if he were to win it back to back years. But I got scared that he was going to, and I just don't like when they kind of just do that shit over. Like they just did that shit with the 3P with Cologne. Don't need to do that with John Wayne, especially with the talent that you have. And I'm so glad like Miedo won, but like I wasn't gonna lie, that finals, I was like hopeful, but also skeptic because like I didn't know what was gonna happen, and that's a good feeling. Like you don't know who's going to win those tournaments. I just love the feeling of not knowing what's going to happen.
Well, just that man, Miedo winning though. Okay, so when he had to come in and save his brother in the
That too,
first
yeah.
round, I
That
went,
little story.
okay, yeah, we got a reason now. We can't cut that off in the semifinal. There's something there. And then when it came finals, you could, if you go and watch from the moment he comes out of the from behind the apron or from behind the curtain all the way to when the match starts, and you're going to see in his eyes and face the happiest man. And
Yep,
I even have it on Twitter. I put down, I said, he's going to win it all. I see
he's
the
winning.
twinkle in his eye.
That's the look.
And then
Yep, that's the look.
Murdoch turned around and liked it. And I went, oh, ho, ho, here we
Uh,
go. Like right after, I'm sorry, like right after the match, he liked it. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah, he obviously, Miedo found out he won and he was just so happy to just go out there and do it. And if you look at the way he was dressed from beginning to end, this was the Miedo show. Really
yep.
look at it. He comes out with that fucking awesome ass mask on and he's got the outfit. Like that was the Miedo show front to back. And I believe he earned it.
Yeah, for sure. I was so glad he won. I've been saying I've been hoping for like when him and Ciclope have a TOS 3 rematch, but him just being able to win this one was awesome. I'll be remiss to ask just because I don't know how much longer we got, but before just in case we don't forget, Jun Kasai versus Nick Gage.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit. That lived up to expectations in my book. I know some people were ragging on it saying those little bit because they're older in their prime. Fuck that. They went out there. They did it. They might have done it smarter, which was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
violence and just as much blood. And they told an awesome story. I loved it. The crowd for that match too was super into it. And Nick wearing that 23 Jordan shirt did get me
Oh,
scared.
wow.
Did get me scared. Like,
That
don't
got
tempt
me.
fate, motherfucker.
That got me because I was sitting there going, okay, not only is that the old jersey kind of thing, but also I thought maybe it was even a throwback to Cologne, but I don't know how long those two got along. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't even think about that. I swear to God, I
Yeah.
didn't even think about Cologne involvement there.
Yeah. I thought maybe that was his throwback. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
wow.
maybe, maybe it served two purposes or maybe we dug into it too hard, but I think it was one
Didn't
or the
even think
other.
about it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's fun to think about now.
So I think a fan handed him that jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a person on Twitter that said he used my jersey or something like that. But again,
Oh,
it
okay.
could just be me smoking and being an idiot, and forgetting, and I'm looking at shit 2 in the morning. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
Um,
that was a good match. I thought that delivered and everything. I'm glad they were able to have that moment with those two, uh and AC was perfect. I thought that was good. It was a good match.
let's see here. So you're talking about good old aftermath.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that thing was insane. Tara Zepp now, she really does love her death matches. So I think I got my wish of seeing her. My hope is that she continues to improve and then steps up to that GCW level. Because again, I feel like she's one of those ones that the fans just are gonna love. It's the whole clown thing. It's the whole. It just works. So I think that's gonna happen there. Um, yeah. Now I'm thrown off because I'm looking at my notes from Aftermath here too. Um, one thing that my wife mentioned, Turtle mentioned, she wants louder entrance music on the shows. And when you go back and listen, you can hear like it's really hard to hear the music. And if you watch wrestling shows, half the fun is banging that fucking music out when the wrestler walks out. I know it's
Yeah.
also copyrighted, kind of. So I know you may have to do something there, but give me a good bit of it just because. I mean, it's the wrestler's entrance. Let's see what else here do I have. Violence is Forever versus Wasted Youth. I knew that was only going to go one way. Now,
Yeah.
you're a Violence is Forever fan. I'm not as much. I don't have any hatred towards it because people are like, I don't like them, therefore I must have something mean to say. I really don't. Actually, I think they're very nice guys. It's just I haven't been able to connect with their personalities yet. Now, you know who else I used to say this about? Los
Masha.
Macizos.
Oh, those Macizos, yeah.
Masha also. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there are some I just have to take them in for a while before I get it. But for right now, for me, I don't connect with them yet. I feel like they go in and they do whatever they need to do well. But after that, I don't hear much from them. And I feel like I need to know a little more about them. I just don't know if they're the stay strong silent types or what. And it seems like they're more strong and silent types.
Yeah, I think they fit in perfectly with GCW. Yeah, that was the big happiness and big one thing I'm thankful for in 2023 is getting Violence is Forever in a GCW ring and then seeing how quickly they rose to the tag ranks and dominate. Yeah, this one against Wasted Youth, I would like to see other teams. I don't know. There's other teams out there, and I know this was no fault to Austin Luke, but Marcus Mathers was supposed to have this match, and I think he got hurt.
Yeah. Oh, also since your boy's on it, my boy against your boy, Leo Rush versus Cole Radrick.
That
I
was a good match for Cole.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it went really well. Also, Cole's losing weight. Last time I
Isn't he
talked to
about to get
him,
Gresham?
yeah, but
Like he's getting some major matches right now too.
Blizzard's giving you shit on Leo Rush, by the way. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm reading everything you're saying, dude. I just can't say it all out loud. I get all squirreled up and then I forget what the hell I'm doing. Cole Radrick's my favorite wrestler was a cool chant. I'm gonna try to see if I can
yep.
remember that one in Las Vegas and LA. So if you hear me say it or somebody sing it, somebody yell it, you gotta say it with me here. Yeah, everybody was really heavily invested in that match. Yeah, Cole. Last time I talked to him, he said he was down like 15. I think he's down even further than that now. So I think he's going to be taking himself more seriously. Also, by the way, I think it's
I
coming.
I think it's good because he's getting some top notch matches now. Now is the time to put on those showcases. If he wants, like, kind of seems like on Twitter, he wants more bookings other places. These matches are going to be
Yep.
good tape to put out there to promoters.
I feel like he carried the Extreme title well too. I wouldn't be against him having it again down the road or even next. Uh, I wouldn't give him the JCW title though. I think he's above that.
Yep, I think so too.
I just
If
think
anything,
giving it
yeah,
to him.
his next step might be Ultraviolent. I think.
Why not? That's a great idea. Why the hell not? Plus, again, Masha's had it for so long. It wouldn't hurt to maybe find out what's going on with that.
Yeah, I kind of would like that belt defended a lot more in 2024. I guess that would be my one thing. I'm gonna look that stat up right now. How often that belt was defended this year?
Ooh, that's a good one worth looking up. Huh. Okay. Yeah, Emerson Jane versus Joey Danella. For that one, I just felt like they both did a really good job, and I think this was the match that helped Joey know that she was worth bringing back again. I think was the best way I could put that. Violento Jack versus Mike Bailey. Let's see here if I have anything good on that one. Yeah, just basically Speedball being a face champion, which we talked about earlier. Violento is a solid performer. I don't know if there's anything that really sets him apart, but every time we ask him to do anything, it's like he can just do it. So
This, as we said, we were talking about like wrestlers you don't get. I kind of always not gotten like why Violento Jack is getting all these big pushes in GCW. Like Brett loves this fucking guy. Like the way he talks about him, like pushing him, and I get it, and like I think he's good, but I just didn't get like the wow. This weekend he did show a lot more, and I think it was more not even like the death match. It was more the groundwork. This match against Speedball I enjoyed more than like his deathmatch kind of shit. So I like seeing the variety of him. So I'm now looking forward to seeing his matches than I was before this weekend. That's for sure. Just real fast to the Ultraviolet title 13 times last year, which I guess isn't bad. One time a month we're seeing the Ultraviolet title defended on average, even though it didn't seem that way. It didn't seem that way this year, but we got like 4 titles in one weekend, title defense in one weekend in Japan because of Tokyo and stuff. So it does depend on location, which sucks, but I would like to see someone else hold that belt that would defend it a lot more out here in the States and kind of reinvigorate the deathmatch scene out here. Because I feel like we did lose a lot of, not lost a lot of stars, but there wasn't a lot of new names to talk about in deathmatch wrestling other than what GCW brought over. I didn't feel like I found a lot more new names as I did in years past, where there was all these deathmatch wrestlers nonstop. I feel like the crop of talent really slowed down last year. So maybe GCW kind of brings it back to the forefront and gets people and excited to do deathmatch wrestling again.
Okay, so my thoughts. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the best way to put my thoughts on this. We haven't had a lot of fresh talent in the deathmatch scene in the last 3 years. Period. Everyone you see there has been there anywhere between 5 and 25 years. We're just not seeing a lot of fresh talent come through recently.
Or brought over from overseas.
Yeah, and if they
Which
do,
isn't a
they've
bad
been in
thing.
the deathmatch scene for quite a long time.
Yeah, I don't mind seeing all the new names like Big Fucking Joe that we've seen and all them. Like, I don't mind seeing all those names regularly come back to the States and wrestle for GCW and death matches because they're top talent from over there.
And I honestly think we've done and tapped about as much as we're going to do and tap in Japan. And I really think right now American deathmatch is really the hot thing. I also think the American independent scene right now is the hot thing. And I think the spearhead at that entire movement is and should be GCW from the beginning. So I know we're over there on the island doing things and bringing people halfway across the world. But again, there's a lot of fantastic talent right here in the United States that needs to be given um, an equal amount of time, if not more, because right now, again, the deathmatch scene, the American wrestling scene, I feel is growing in popularity, and I feel the only way to do that is to continue to grow the American scene. And the reason I say that is because I know this is a very long statement,
No,
but
no,
bringing
you
in Japanese wrestlers generally is going to make the hardcore fans happy, and it doesn't generally bring in any new fans, at least on the American scene. Very rare. I I really would like to see GCW do some more mainstream things instead of going pro Japan about everything. Our weekend that's coming up, our collective weekend, is half companies from other places, which is fine, but nobody knows any of those names. Also, we had one of the most fantastic NGIs that we've probably had in a long time, but I know a lot of those names were not names that fans asked for. And I know that I feel that at some point that also may have even affected ticket sales. And I know that's also me jumping out on a boat here, but I can tell you when we were asked on Patreon, who would you like to see in the next NGI?
Big
None of
F
the
and Joe
names
was a
that are,
name.
yeah, like none of the names that were really on the card that we saw in NGI 8 was actually any of the ones that the paying fans wanted. However, the show that was put on was absolutely fantastic. But that does show a glaring problem. What the fans want to see and what the fans are given sometimes are two different things. That's fine. But I mean, I feel like as fans, we're being told, hey, do you like this grilled cheese? Hey, have you tried this grilled cheese? Hey, and you know what? Some of us have been watching wrestling for so long, maybe we're not grilled cheese fans. So, like for me, no, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Japanese wrestling. Partially, it's the speech thing because I don't know what they're saying and whatnot. There's a lack of connection emotionally. I just don't have a connection emotionally with them, and that's unfortunate. But I just I don't know. All my stars have mostly been an English speaking American. So when I try to go from another continent or another, it's always different. And because of the difference in barrier of language, or even just the way, um, what's the word for it? It's getting late, and that's the word for it. No, culture. The culture differences. Sometimes I don't connect as well or as much. So, you know what I mean? Some of them are in video game mode, and I love my video games, but I'm not always like my wrestling isn't always in video game mode. So, I don't know.
What
I don't know.
One cool thing, that like the picture, like we were just kind of talking about the culture stuff, seeing how the GCW, the MDK culture is affecting wrestling. Like it was kind of cool seeing Maki and Rina. I think it was in Stardom or
Yes.
no, it's not Stardom. It was
Yep.
TJPW. They wrestled, and
MDK.
at the end of the match, they should do the MTK and show respect. I thought that was so fucking cool. Like that's like when like I always go to the Ric Flair last match, seeing just GCW, seeing like our culture infect like the wrestling,
Yes.
different wrestling
Yeah.
outside cultures from GCW. It's kind of fun seeing how they kind of cross check it, but it's also cool seeing it just being done worldwide, literally at this point. Also, you were talking about new talent. So, and I know you haven't watched too much WWE, you said as of late, but with all those free agents now, all those talents that are free to sign everywhere. I don't know how well you know the list or anything or any names that you would kind of see, because I know there's like Dolph Ziggler out there. One name for me is Elias that not a lot of people have said anything about, but that he could go in the ring. He's got a super cool like kind of character and gimmick. I think he is going to do what Cardona is doing on the independent scene. I think he's going to have a giant year. Elias or Elijah now. I am begging for Brett to bring Elijah to GCW because I think he could do some fucking awesome work. We got AJ Francis.
GCW is a personality kind of fans. Like if you wanted to watch, like if you have personality, GCW fans will love you. And Elijah has so much personality. You can see it's just oozing out of his ears. If him and Cardona get together, that would be an unstoppable team. They would be too much for the independent scene. But yeah, if he spends some time talking to Cardona, I have a feeling he would be smart enough to be able to just stay within the independent scene and probably do damn well as long as he harnesses what made him popular to begin with. Bizzard, you asked me about grilled cheese. I mean, grilled a hot ham and cheese, bro. Grilled cheese all day long, but hot ham and cheese is great. Ezekiel was Triple H's biggest failure. Vince got him over huge. You know, that's interesting. I feel what got over Ezekiel was Ezekiel. And I think like the fans pushed him over too. And I don't know. I'm unsure. I know he got some spotlights, but I feel like he was set to fail from the beginning. I don't think they expected him to be as popular as he did. Dude just went out there with a guitar and went, bring, and just
when
lit
he
it
was
up.
in NXT, he was lighting it up. And
exactly.
and he didn't even get popular in NXT. He got popular in the main roster, but I went to a couple NXT house shows, and you just heard "Walk with Elias" was like the loudest thing ever. And I think he could do big things. Like I really want to see what he could do, and just outside with his own creative freedom, because I think he's oh yeah, that's why I didn't say Samson. I didn't have the last name.
No, I'm with Bizzard though. I didn't like his NXT version. The minute he went up to the main roster, man, he blew up.
But it was the same character. Like that's what I kind of think it did.
Exact same character. That's what's kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's like what really changed past maybe just a couple of the fans that
One name that I'm getting hopeful for, because I saw he signed for Revolver, and that's GCW level-ish, Shelton Benjamin. He has been a favorite of mine since day one he showed up on the roster. And if I get to see him versus Speedball in GCW ring, forget about it. Shelton is a huge name I would like to get.
Here's one for you. You ready? Get ready for the time when AEW decides that it needs to cut some fat and get the roster chunked down by about 40 to 50 people. I'm not going to name names, but I could tell you there's going to be a lot of talent floating around out there that's going to want to get a call from GCW in the next couple years, because I don't think AEW can sustain a roster of that size. Okay, and maybe they can, and that's fair, but it's just so much like talent just held into these spots that I just don't feel like the eyeballs are getting to them.
Well, that's why I kind of wish they would kind of focus more back on putting
Bleeding
these. Yeah.
Bleeding.
I wish they would put these guys out there, like they are names, but they're just not being used in storyline, but use them in Ring of Honor. Give them a little push, reheat them back up, give them a new little tweak to the gimmick. Like that's what those are for. That's what the the YouTube fucking show was for. Like that's when they first started. That's how they were building the Acclaimed up through Dark and all this shit. Like that's what was cool to see. And I loved watching that, because you would see Matthew Justice wrestling on AEW Dark. Like that's where you see the Blake Christians. You get to see all these young independent talent. So like I think they have a lot of talent, which is good, but I think they just need to use it better and not put the same guys on use them on other different shows where they're not being used. Like if they're hurt and whatever, then you're saving them to recover. That's fine. But if you just don't have storyline purposes, creative, anything for them, put them on there, let them go out there for 3-4 minutes, do something and work it from there. And I think that's where I loved AEW. And I wish they would kind of get back to that kind of point, because I love the fact that they have a stacked fucking roster, because you could have cool shows 5 days a week on AEW, like how they were kind of doing back in the day.
Okay, so since we had someone mention it here too, Biz Bro, Cody was the first step. Cody leaving was the first step in me saying, I don't know how much I want to see this, but I'm going to stick around because I have a feeling that, if we just take him out of the way, we'll see what changes. And what changes was a lot of the NWA and old guard, like Arn Anderson and whatnot, that was coming in there to help make the program be a little more solid as an overall product, ended up falling to the wayside. And then I'm going, okay, what's going to happen here? I almost said Cody. Then CM Punk came in, and I go, all right, I'm good with this. Let's see what he can do. Um, and I do believe we were still outside of the show in London. That show in Las Vegas was probably the peak when CM Punk won at Double or Nothing. That was peak AEW, I think, that night. But yeah, CM Punk leaving, I think, was a good thing. And then here goes Jade Cargill out the door. MJF is going to go when it's time. Let's not bullshit there. It
But the
feels
time will
like,
be now. But
well,
he's coming
yeah,
back. He's signed. He like they're kind of joking. They're not going to talk about it. I think he's going to come back in a surprise. But like he absolutely signed. But the way they kind of booked it all was kind of
yeah.
smart creatively to get people to think about it.
Well, it is creative, and here's why. Let's just say your wrestler who's really huge is out for 6 weeks. You know what you do for the next 6 weeks? You talk about him. You create doubt. Is he coming back? Is he this? Is he that? That keeps the name fresh in everybody's mind. All the fans are retweeting and blah blah. Yeah. So, um, uh, Cody Rhodes had all these wonderful people with him that I felt like brought a lot of talent with them and experience. Experience is the word I'm looking for with them. And I feel like that started to flush away when Cody left. And then Punk leaves, and you're starting to see now that some of these greater, older individuals in production even are now starting to fall away. That tells me somewhere a change has been made in the last couple months, and everybody, at least the ones who take wrestling seriously, are not sticking with it. I think it's okay. WWE is $1 billion machine. They had $1 billion machine behind people like Adam Cole and several others. On the NXT roster, they were mid. They were pushed to the moon like they were amazing, but really when it came down to ratings, they were mid. Now, these guys are brought over to AEW, and now they're pulling mid ratings over here. And the unfortunate part is, I don't even know if Adam Cole can wrestle or if he's in wrestling shape sometimes, because he comes out looking ill to a point to where sometimes I wonder if something's wrong and AEW is just trying to keep him in storylines while he feels better. Because looking at him, that does not look like NXT Adam Cole. And that's fucked up, because usually as you get older, your body matures and kind of spreads out more, not gets thinner and smaller.
I think it's like resting on laurels. Like a lot of AEWs resting on
Okay,
laurels. Like,
that's the
hey, we're
truth.
with our friends. We're with our friends. We're doing wrestling. We're making money. We're working a lot less than we would have if we would have done on the indies, but making a lot more. I feel a lot of resting on the laurels now. When it started, they had all the heart in the world and push and shove to. They had to fight to survive. Now they realize, hey, we kind of do have a security blanket. We're going to survive no matter what. I feel like they kind of have done taking the foot off the gas, and also injuries and stupid shit like everything else. Every pay per view, this seems to be stupid shit that always happens. I
Well,
think they
yeah.
just always shoot themselves in their own foot too.
How do you how many injuries per pay-per-view can those guys have too? Nick Wayne sustained less injuries at crazy ass GCW than he did at AEW. Motherfucker got his tooth chipped. He's gotten all kinds of shit fucked. Like, his face was all fucked up on like the first week or two of him being on
Yeah,
TV.
first week
I'm
they
like,
got jumped.
who should be telling who to take care of the talent? Anyway, though, I'm just saying though, how many injuries do we really see at GCW? How many
I,
times do you see the referee throwing up the X and we have to bring out a cart? No, it just doesn't happen. I mean, Lord,
I could,
knock on wood,
yeah.
But okay, so yeah, with AEW right now, what I look at is there's a lot of nerdy jokes. It just seems like a lot of nerdy jokes. You have Chris Jericho, who looks like the 25-year-old guy at the high school party. And no, seriously, and he thinks he's cool, and no one can be in the position to tell him he's not cool. So, like if everybody's wearing polka dots in the cool group, then, one day Jericho is going to wear polka dots and be cool too. And then it's not cool anymore when the old guy does it. So I look at that. The Young Bucks, they can't be heels, so they need to stop it. Their attempts at heels look like shit. They're not believable. They used to be something so fantastic. I miss the pro wrestling Gorilla Bucks, but what they are now looks just it's just it's just sad. They are not the same Bucks, bro, and they just don't seem. I don't know.
Playing the hits.
Well, what's going on is you can tell there's one guy at the top who's just a dork, who he's making dorky jokes. And he thinks this, like, first of all, Danhausen could have been handled when he first got there in so many other ways that he wouldn't have looked like he did. But instead they did. They could have kept Danhausen in vignettes for the next year. He wouldn't have even had to step in a ring. All he had to do was just come on the screen and go, hello.
I'm about to say he got hurt. He got hurt right away. Like right away. I think that's right when he broke his ankle was around that time.
Yeah, and you know what? It wouldn't have hurt his career at all because all you'd have to do is turn on the camera and go, well, hello, da 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 da. Just, it's not hard. But there's a lot of dorky jokes going on. Adam Cole being at the forefront of another fucking wrestling business when he hasn't shown anything at the last wrestling businesses he's at tells me a lot. And from the outside, it looks like it's about who he's friends with. That's what it seems like. It's a big friends club right now. And unfortunately, all the friends are dorks and they don't understand why they're not going over on, and getting more fans, probably because a lot of their humor sucks. Outside of a fan, I'm never going to wear a scissor me daddy ass shirt ever. Do you know how stupid that fucking sounds outside of fandom? Think about that. Think about someone 45 years old yelling scissor me daddy ass at a live event with their kid. At some point, people have to think about that. There's been complaints about their merch, the lack of, and then the merch they do have. Some of it isn't that great. Like there's so many things going on at that company. And honestly, cutting the bottom 50 fucking talent right off of their sheet would be the smartest thing they would do. And yeah, I didn't want to go too far in that, but I could go far. I'm very disappointed in a company we had so much hope in 3-4 years ago to turn into some nerd's joke. And that's
I still got hope.
I'll
put my foot down now. You did too much AEW slander now. Damn it. I took too much. No, I'm just kidding. I love AEW. I'm kind of looking at the positive. I think that's why they stockpiled that roster where no matter what comes up, they will have somebody there to step up and can do stuff.
Yes.
As we see now, like Swerve stepped up. That was when they picked him up. I said he better be a fucking star. I didn't expect it to be this fast, but I knew he would be a star, but not like this. And him doing it's awesome to see, but I think I'm being more optimistic, even though there are like every single
I make it sound terrible. I know.
No, every month you don't make it sound terrible. I see all this shit every day, and it's like I can't disagree with anything that anybody says. I just look at the optimistic point. I'm like, dude, he's 5 years. He's a fan. He's an Uber fan.
Yep.
I think he should not have taken full control over creative like how he did. I thought he should have kept on delegating it because then that's less fucking headaches for him. And like it became better, I thought, because each freaking thing was segmentized and like had its own person to deal with it. And it made it a lot bit better. Now instead of you got one person doing two storylines the same way at two different parts of the card with two different factions. And that's what I don't like. Like that's anything that anybody says, I cannot disagree with it, but I just think he's got a lot of money. He's got TV backing. He's got security. He's got security in every place that you need it as a company, especially as a wrestling company. And he's going to try do shit. And I'm glad he's able to, but also, dude, he's been 5 years. They've already made the 80,000 in Wembley. Like that's fucking insane. That's credible. So he's done a lot of good things. And I think a lot of people compare it. They want to call it like competition, where I think he kind of strayed away and made it competition.
Yes,
but when they first started, they were fucking an alternative. They were going to do shit differently than AEW. They were going to have a place for, hey, you're getting treated like shit here, or you're fucking an indie wrestler coming up. I'm going to give you work here, and we're going to do something different. And then throughout that point, it became, they grew, which was good, but then so did his ego, and it became a competition. And while the competition is good, you cannot do what the competition is doing when your fan base and everything started off as an alternative. They should go like this. Me going back to GCW, go back to what GCW was hot at the Run Ricky Run pay-per-views and TOS 666. Go
Mhm.
back to that, and that's what they're starting to do with all these heel stables and the Cardonas and the Mance and Effy. They're starting to bring that feeling back, and I think that's where AEW, and they're starting to with the Continental Classic. That was like the best ratings and shit they've done, and it was entertaining and fun, and that's fucking wrestling. That's what I came to watch AEW for, is their in-ring wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes, MJF could cut a promo, Chris Jericho could stop cutting promos and all, like, but I don't want it to become the same storyline shit that WWE's doing. I want them to do their own shit. I think when they do their own shit that's completely opposite from WWE, that's when they've excelled. Like I just go back to this Continental Classic and other things that they've done, like working with New Japan and stuff. When they've done that stuff differently than WWE, it's worked. And when they try to do what WWE is doing, they get demolished.
Well, when they started, it was a new hope. It was
Yeah.
like Star Wars. It was like a new hope. Like, holy shit, we've been in the dark for so many years. All of these people who have been in wrestling for all this time are finally going to get together and go, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do it the way we feel the fans want it to be done. So we were all full of hope. If you ever
So
watched the
fun.
first show,
I was there. I was there at the
All
press
in?
conference. I went to
Yeah,
the
well,
press
that's
conference
true.
in this weather, like around this time
Yeah.
of year
Yeah.
at the MGM, and it was raining. And I'm out there as they signed Kenny Omega because he just got released or
Yeah.
just finished his New Japan contract. It was Jericho and the Bucks. They were the only ones signed at that time. I got to see. I was out. I've been AEW since day one, and that's why,
Yep.
like, sitting you like you went on your thing. You said nothing wrong, but it's like, man, it hurts, man, hearing it because I've been
No,
in
it's
there
true.
day one,
It's true.
and it's
And I'm
right though.
And
Nothing
I'm a
that
day
you said was
one with
wrong.
you. Do you know what got me on day one that I really wish they would have really done more with? The first show was All In. Now, we didn't know if another one was going to happen, right?
That was nuts. That was completely
Yeah,
different.
you know who the
as well.
breakout star was? Darby
Janela.
Allin, All In, literally with the same last name.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Darby
I didn't even.
was-
I'm not. Yeah.
Darby was the breakout of that
I still
show.
don't like him.
No shit. Well, I'm just letting you know,
yeah,
though,
he's
he
not
was
for
the
me,
breakout of
yeah.
the show. And to me,
I
he
thought
was
Joey
gonna be
was.
the skateboard kids. You know what I mean? Like, what'd you say that Joey was?
I thought Joey Janela was the breakout. The match that him and fuck was it Adam Page? I think they had like because Joey was on the first All In, and like
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, I could be. Oh wait, not GCW All In. Now you're making me question myself.
Well,
here.
what I was
ahead.
thinking though was at some point a lot of talent out of AEW is going to have to get flushed, and when they do, I'm really curious to see how many of them end up back in GCW or end up in GCW for their first time. Just kind of curious about that. But yeah, I was day one. I watched All In. I made my family watch All In. I was like, you guys don't get it. This is the birth of a new company. You don't know how important it is when there's a birth of a new company. This has only happened so many times in my life, so on and so forth. Like, I did
That's
that
why I'm excited. This is the first time in my life I got to start
Yes.
a new company.
when the first problem when the first problem happened between Punk and the boys over there, that was the last of me watching. I felt like I went, you know what? It feels like they're trying to get him to fight to leave. And then after Punk got his job at WWE, I went, oh my God, they got Punk in a situation where he ended up winning. Punk won. Punk's the one bringing home bigger money now. And, you know, he's in a company where it's nice and safe. He comes out looking healthier. His physique is better. I also think WWE just has better trainers. I know that's probably 100% true, but maybe the fact that a lot of these guys, they have better trainers, maybe they have better testosterone that they're working with. Like, I don't know. Better everything. You know what I
They
mean?
got better nutritionists and shit. Yeah.
Exactly. $1 billion machine behind them. So, I mean, they could probably have me walking in there and walking out of there looking like freaking The Rock with as much money as they have working into that place.
Yeah, Hangman. I was right. Hangman and Joey Janela. That's when what's his name showed up at the end.
There you go.
I don't want to say his name, but yeah.
Moxley? When
no,
who?
He's kind of canceled now. Joey Ryan.
Yeah, well, that's
Joey Ryan. Yeah, when that
okay.
that was the most questionable part of All In was that part too. But yeah, Joey and Hangman. I thought that to me that's a match. Honestly, I that's the match that stuck out other than like the main events. And I forgot Okada went against another name. I should say Skrull. Omega and Penta was also a cool match, and Jericho show was awesome. But the one match, if you had to tell me, name one match from All In, I'm going Joey Janela Hangman. They had a crazy, like, they were like, yeah, Chicago Street Fight. There it is. It was a crazy. I remember they were fighting all over the place. It was a good one.
Anything Janela in for some reason just has an entertainment value to it. It might not be the top-notch entertainment value, but there's going to be entertainment value there nonetheless.
Yeah.
Like an unbreakable table. The 7 times unbroken table that he had in that, I forget what match he was with on that one, but yeah, 7 times.
They
They
should
threw a
induct
table
that.
at the table.
They should induct that to the Indie Hall of Fame this year. The unbreakable
gosh.
table.
You know what? That would be great if they just had one table that goes in as the unbreakable.
All right. Well, as we kind of close down here, any more GCW? I know we've gone all over the place. This hasn't been just a strictly GCW, but we've hit GCW, but we've had a lot of wrestling to talk about. So I'm glad to get it all off our chest.
I've crapped on Circle 6. I've crapped on AEW. To be fair, yeah, I was day one AEW. What's going on here is that Punk leaving was the major win for me. Jade Cargill, that let me know that the wheels are falling off the place, honestly. And then the fact that I know that the Bucks and Kenny Omega, they all kind of do their stuff together. That lets me know that there are 2 major contracts away from being sunk as a company, because if the Bucks leave, Kenny Omega's gone. You're down to what? I mean, granted, there's a lot of good stuff there. It's just, is there superstar stuff or is there just good stuff? There's a lot of good and great there, but I don't know how many Hogans and Cenas and Rocks and are coming out of that bunch. You know what I mean?
How many came out of the bunch from WWE right there? You just said. Well, I know you just said those ones. Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, fair ground there. No, I get what you're saying. I think there's a lot of doom and gloom, but I
just feel like unless there's another 2 or 3 stars that come out in 2024 in AEW, they may find themselves in a situation. Look, there's no way in hell Tony's sitting down going, God, I'm much better than I was a year ago. You know what I mean? He had a lot more going for him. I look at it as the business portion of, he just put all that money into Jade just to turn around and have someone else parade his work across TV. That gets
I don't think he put that much money into Jade, though.
You don't think?
Like, no.
I mean, are you thinking maybe she just said, "Hey, people are training"?
No, like initial. No, I think initial contract, like what he had her on, was probably cheap as shit. And then time that came up, and now she wants the money, and he's like now is the time to pay up, and he's just like, "Hey, I'd rather put that money somewhere else," which I think is fine. And then now, like, he put a lot of time, maybe TV time, where you could have been building other people, but like actual money, I don't think so. But I understand what you're saying. You feel like you're growing somebody, then they just walk off and leave, and. Yeah, I get what you're saying there, and we'll see what happens when she does WWE.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's going to be a lot of looks, but I'm hearing that some of the stuff she's doing is pretty phenomenal. So, fingers crossed. Every now and then, I will sit down and actually watch the WWE show just for fun, and I'm always sitting there going, "Wow, they have lights. Wow, look at all that camera work." And you know what I mean? So, but every time I watch, like I said, somewhere like MLW or somewhere like that, I look at it and go, God, I see why I like GCW so much better.
Yeah.
It's just the little things. And they're hard to explain, but the little things matter.
All right. Is that it? Is that the roundup? Did we round everything up in this one?
Dude, I could go another 2 hours if it wasn't 10 o'clock. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we did a good job. Yeah. I know it wasn't the normal. We were all over the place, and that's fine. We just really wanted to do this podcast to let you guys know we're back. We got good shit coming. We're warming back up. We're going to get back into it. Our next podcast, like I said, I didn't even know there's shows this weekend. So I might have a lot of wrestling to watch on Monday night if we record Tuesday or whenever we record, we will get it. But our reviews are coming back. John's going to keep doing his awesome previews. We will continue to do these YouTubes. What you see is what you get for right now. Like I said, hopefully I can talk
it ain't pretty, but it ain't
hopefully
ugly.
I can talk into Fire J and some other people to that was so cool him stopping by. Honestly, like that was awesome him stopping by. Biz, you stopping by, hanging out all streams has been awesome, giving us lots of topics too. It doesn't have to be GCW. That's why we're glad this one you did chime in a lot of stuff, because we do talk a lot of wrestling outside of GCW.
Dude,
but
we watch way more than GCW. It's just that's the numbers that we're. That's
watch
just
everything.
The letters we're talking under, dude. Especially B. He's constantly watching some of the fucking. He's got wrestling on 24/7
every night. Every night, yes. I'm missing NXT, but it's all right. NXT, I usually watch NXT when I watch Dynamite and at the same time. Yeah. I'm a sicko when it comes to wrestling, but we just want to let the fans know we are back. We did this. It might not have been as pretty, or we will fix it and everything else. Our
I'll shave
quality get
next
better.
time. I'll shave. Yeah, this is like the most I've ever had any. I'm ready to go to the hills and talk to bears, is what I told B.
Yes.
I'm ready to
Biz with the love.
speak to the hills, start
But yeah,
moonshining.
but we do have fun stuff. We are coming back. We're gonna get more consistent again. And thank you all for people that are still here and that listen. It will be on YouTube. It will be multiple versions on YouTube as well. The audio version will come out. It will be edited. We'll clean it up. We'll take out some of the shit that we said on the YouTube stuff, but it's all right. And John will add some cool clips I'm hoping for and all that stuff on this one. And we'll start seeing there's some improvements and coming back strong. And thank you all again for hanging out and listening and for dealing with us.
Hell yeah! So is this how we close the thing out? Then we just do it here, right?
I was about to say, yeah. Is there anything else you want to say before we get them out of here? If we could remember how to.
It has been a long time. Thank you to the GCW podcast for just kind of shouting us out and keeping us going. They had me on over there. They
Yeah,
were
I had
cool
you
as
on. Yep.
hell. This month, I believe, is going to be their 1 year anniversary. So congratulations to them.
Nice.
Um, hello and thank you to my family, my wife, your family. Awesome, of course. We're starting a new year, so we'll just start it right with all the sappy shit.
Yeah, shout out to my wife too and all that support and love. Our families, obviously, they let us do this shit.
Fucking
So
listeners.
start off the new year the right way.
Hell yeah. So yeah, we're just doing our thing, but seriously, man, thank you so much. We're just normal people. We're just fans. And we're not perfect, but we're perfect like fans, I guess. I don't know what
We
to
try
say.
to
Like
be. We're not
we
perfect. I
try.
won't say I'm a perfect fan. That's for sure. I'm a shitty fan because you, like I said, in one match you could get me flip flopping 4 different ways where I love it and I hate it. So I am the worst fan. I guess we'd be remiss too before we say we got those LA shows and Phoenix show coming up. I got
Fuck
Phoenix
yes.
up in the background trying to promote it here. That my boy's Nile Theater. He helps run the place. He's awesome. Nile's gonna be crazy. The lineup is crazy. I know GCW is happy with the ticket turnout and everything, and I'm happy Arizona's going. I will be there. You'll be there.
Yep.
We're doing Psycho Trip. I'm doing a Psycho Trip. At least you're doing Psycho Trip in itself. I'm going more Psycho. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
shout out
so explain
Arizona.
that real quick. So I'm going from Las Vegas to LA. That's 4.5 hours. I'm watching the show that night, waking up in the morning, and then LA to Phoenix. That's 6 hours. Watching the show that night, waking up in the morning, heading home to Las Vegas. It's about 4.5 to 5 hours. That's what I'm doing. Now let's hear your fun trip.
I am going from Vegas to LA, going to the show. And then after LA, the next morning, driving back to Vegas. Got some stuff to take care of back in Vegas real fast. And then heading from LA to Vegas, Vegas to
Oh shit.
Phoenix, walking into the Nile, energized and ready to fucking have a party.
Energize my ass.
I'm actually like, as it's getting closer, I like the picture up on my computer to get me hyped. I'm actually really looking forward to being at a new venue, seeing the Arizona guys again, being in a new venue. It's someplace that they know it's special. And I know
Yeah.
I've talked to some of those other fans. They're excited and here. And like, they got like the whole front row was pretty much all like our group was like
I was
25
gonna
tickets
say,
to
I
front
was
row.
wondering how many people are you or I gonna
20,
know at this place? Easy.
They got 25. I didn't get front row. I just got GA. Yeah, I missed out. Like that's how fast I missed out. So
That's why
I'm gonna be standing in GA, or I'll ask Brett like, hey, can I stand with you guys and just kind of watch and just watch
Yeah.
some shit? But I'll be there and enjoying the show, and I think that's going to be fun. But yeah, I'm doing a major crazy drive, and
But
yeah,
I'll
there was
also
that.
explain why we do it too. We only get one show in Las Vegas a year. If we're
Exactly.
lucky, a second show. And we do the podcast, so it's like, man, we gotta, no, we're not sitting together. We actually
Yeah,
live
like
like
I missed the
minutes apart.
tickets.
We minutes apart from each other. Oh, he's talking about sitting for the show.
Yeah,
No. I guess we're not sitting together. Generally, in LA, I'll take the floor front row, and he takes the what's
stage.
it called, the stage front row. So if you look on screen, generally Brett will put us dead center on the stage on the floor, and then Brent you'll see, or B you'll just see to the right on the stage in the front row. So we all have our tickets that we like. I would love to go up there on the stage and sit one time because I think it's a really cool spot. But my wife, because she takes pictures, she loves being down in the pit where the action kind of goes down. It's good and
She got
bad.
good action pictures there, but like also she could take awesome pictures on stage because this is a straight shot right
That's
there.
what I was
But
saying
she's
too.
down low and she gets different angles. Those are a little different.
Yeah.
Like if you take it from there, like anybody, that's a TV angle. So I get where she's better off down there. Real fast, I did want to say because my wife will kill me if I forget because of the break and everything. And she's got like her own little side business doing crafts and making freshies, make a lot of stuff, making stuff sense, soaps, melts, whatever you guys want. But she did offer as we kind of come back is a scent. It is our GCW Plants podcast logo. And anybody, the first 10 people that DMs, responds, comments anywhere, sends out something to one of us, we will send you one of these for free. It's just a little thing. It makes your car smell good. It smells good for like a month too. It's really good. But it'll have our logo on it and stuff. Hang it in the car, hang it in the
Sweet.
house, hang it somewhere. But yeah, we got stuff. And so she would have do that as a little thank you and sorry for not recording for a long time. Nothing
That's
on her end, but just as a sorry on my behalf because we had a lot of stuff going on, but we're back and she just wanted to make sure the fans know where we're back and she wanted to do something nice for you guys. So first 10 people, she said, hit me up with that and we'll send you out that for free. Just a little something, a little thank you. And we got that stuff. She makes t-shirts and everything else. So yeah, just a quick shout out before I forget that. And I know Dad Turtle does some cool stuff and takes pictures. And I know the wrestlers are tagging her pictures a lot now on
They're
Twitter. I've been
using
seeing,
them-
which
they're
has been
using
awesome.
them
Yeah.
in their things. Like
Yep.
Effy will use them in her thing. So yeah,
Thanks,
there are
Biz.
certain wrestlers that we kind of get along with better than others. And when she takes decent pictures, then they'll be like, all right, cool. So you'll see a lot of Mancer's pictures and a lot of Effie's pictures are generally going to have Steph stuff in there, which is really nice of them. They are stupid supportive of us. A large bit of that locker room is stupid supportive. So also thank you to them because honestly, without a lot of nice DMs and things to say and really pushing us along, we wouldn't have as much oomph as we do. It really is nice to hear from the talent and go, hey, this is what's going on and whatnot. And after we're done recording, I will tell you about that, Biz.
Biz, that sounds like we got a different podcast to talk about because yeah, we got a bunch of shit on that one.
Oh, I didn't know how much you heard on that one. That one's crazy. Okay,
I got a lot of stuff on that one.
So should we just cut it and then we talk for a second about that one kind of thing?
Fuck it, let's go. We're weirdos. Let's talk about it on this one.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, all right. I saw this thing down in Miami. This is what Bizzard, one of the gentlemen who's in the thing. I don't know if we want to call him a gentleman. It's a guy we know. We don't know if he's truly a gentleman or not. We'll have to find out from others.
He's a gentleman. He's a ladies' man.
Okay, you know what? I like both of those. He's a gentleman and a ladies' man. So yeah, the 8-foot aliens, like that 8 to 10-foot alien thing down in Miami. There's a bunch of people. Okay, so initially they said it was a fight with like 40 to 50
teenagers,
40 to 50 teenagers, and then there were like some fireworks and people thought it was guns going off or whatnot. Miami police showed up. People are scattering like crazy, but people are reporting they're seeing like shadow creatures and shit.
And like portals and shit. Yeah, that like I don't know, like
what?
It's fun to talk about and like seeing all the footage and to think about and like just to wonder, like if I was one of those people, like I heard people saying if they really saw that, wouldn't they take out videos? So like, I'm sorry if something just opened up right in front of my fucking eyes and something I just saw, I'm running.
Yep.
I'm not
You're
taking
not pulling a
video,
camera.
not
Nope.
doing shit until like an hour later where I know I'm nice and safe away from everybody and I'm not get the cops on me, or FBI. But like that's some crazy shit that's been going. Like 2024 is off to a crazy start. Dude, that was just one of the stories and that we talked about. Yeah, that was some fun shit, man.
Dude. Okay, so that shit's going crazy right now. And yeah, we won't go too crazy into it, but yeah, a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff. We've got Alex Jones coming back. We've got a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. And for someone like me that likes all that weird shit, I'm okay with it. I'm really enjoying
I was just about to say
right now.
We need to reach out to Stephen A for his conspiracy podcast. GCW Patreon.
Oh my god, the GCW's conspiracies.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Nah, yeah, I haven't let's see.
Stuff.
I haven't talked to Stephen A in about a month or so. And just see how he's doing. Gosh. I felt like I was going to say something else. I forget we're still recording kind of thing.
I was about to say, you were about to say the 3 magic words and letters. I think that's what you were about to say.
Dude said Alex Jones, let's go. Hey, you know what? As much as you do or do not maybe like him, I'll tell you what, it's kind of weird when some of the weird shit he was talking about comes around now as being true. And it's like, whoa. Anyway, Yeah. Yes. Again, not everything, but yeah. I don't want to make a gay frog joke, but that is too funny. So I
Oh.
respect it. Well, remember what he was saying about that? Well, I don't remember, but what
I
was told.
don't know. I don't follow him, so I don't know.
Okay, it was something crazy. Basically, it was him screaming about the fact that when they give some type of a chemical to frogs, it turns them gay. Which basically he was saying they didn't have sexual interest in the partner that, Mr. Frog and Mrs. Frog or whatever. Like he said they would not procreate in that way or whatnot. And the way it comes out, because it's Alex Jones, is fucking crazy sounding, right? But then you go and you look it up and you find out that there was this test that they were doing on these frogs and it didn't turn them gay as much as it just basically shut them off from doing
Anything
whatever.
testosterone, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It basically just dismantled them. So,
Yeah.
and so of
How
course
you want to take it and look at it
how you
and
say
word it.
and
And
how
word
it's
it. Yep.
taken.
Exactly. That's where I was going with that one.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we did cover everything tonight. That's kind of fun. I
Yeah.
looked
Well,
at the
this might be
alien
one of the roundup podcasts. That's for sure.
Wow. Yeah.
This is
Oh
our
my God.
variety podcast.
This is, the variety show. The second half of the show is going to be me singing and dancing.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
All right. Let's get him
do
out
it,
of here
brother.
before we have to start charging him for that kind of stuff. All right, Biz, thank you for hanging out. Everyone else that stopped by.
Much
We
love.
got some five or six viewers max earlier, so that was awesome. Fire J
Sweet.
stopping in. Biz obviously been here all trip, and I can't scroll up to high enough, but we got some other people that showed up. So yeah, AG, that's AHG. So thank you all for everyone stopped by. We are back. The podcast is back. Yeah, much love to you guys too, Biz.
Much love.
And yeah, let's send him out of here then. And
All right,
I
say
guess
it with us,
we will be back covering whatever those next shows were. I forgot. I just deleted a closed
Sometime
cage
soon.
match. Columbus shows, yes. All right, here we go. All right.
It's been a while. Okay.
Long live.
That's good.
L-I-V, yeah.
G. No.
G.
Live G. Oh, we fucked it up.
C.
GCW.
W.
There we are.